Ooh, I kept seeing this pop up on my feed. Just looking at the picture, what does it look like to y'all? I see the sun, and then I see this thing right here. Is this sun number 2? You see, she freaked out.
I got it! Sorry, baby, I didn't mean to scream. It's a sun right there.
So what's that?
And a sun right here.
2?
Once again, I created this series because we're at a point in the year 2026 where we can't tell whether these videos that are being posted all over social media are AI or real.
See, I'm tired of being lied to. Dog's tongue was cleaner than ours because look at this. Because I don't believe this person has ever seen what a dog's tongue looks like under a microscope. This is a dog.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. How you guys doing? If you guys are brand new here, man, you guys don't know what we do, don't worry, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. We talk about the most scariest and creepiest videos on the net, on the web. That's gonna make us question everything. Let's do what we do best, seekers. Say it with me, y'all. Let's seek the truth.
Who do you predict would happen in Venezuela?
Did you know that everything that's happening in Caracas, Venezuela was already foretold to us? In this Call of Duty, the United States sent special forces in order to take over the dictator of Venezuela. Caracas, Venezuela to be exact. But this is where it gets crazy. Pay attention. This Call of Duty came out 12 years ago. Want to know what else happened 12 years ago? Nicolas Maduro started his presidency 12 years ago. Look at the opening scene to the final act.
To us, Rourke was a legend. The man could walk through hell.
They based the game 12 years in the past. Is that coincidence? What else is crazy is the similarities between the dictator of the Call of Duty game and Maduro. The dictator in the game is named Diego Almagro. Look at the characteristics that Diego Almagro had in the game. You would torture and imprison US-born individuals. Sounds very similar to Maduro, wouldn't you say? He has been accused of crimes against humanity, including excessive force, arbitrary detentions, torture. Not only did this Call of Duty get the exact timeline down to a T, it also got the exact location, Caracas, Venezuela. I really do hope that people start opening their eyes and realizing that they have to tell us what they do before they do it.
When he said they have to tell us what they're going to do before they do it, that is called rules of engagement. This stuff is in the movies, in the music. They usually tell us in the media before things happen that it's going to happen, essentially. But as always, stay weird.
Once again, I created this series because we're at a point in the year 2026 where we can't tell whether these videos that are being posted all over social media are AI or real. And once again, the following video that I'm about to share with you looks too real to be AI, but you be the judge. Take a look at this. And by the way, viewer discretion advised because this is like a slide that goes down the side of a building, and some viewers might be frightened by the images. So if you are frightened of images or videos of slides that go down the side of buildings and you're afraid of heights, do not watch the next video. Take a look at it. Check this out.
AI has to be. No way.
Once again, I screen grabbed the video at exact point where she starts to go down the slide and you can see the city below. I don't see any AI watermarks on the video whatsoever. But once again, I've seen other videos very similar to this on social media. So once again, like the rest of the videos in this series, let me know your thoughts as to, do you think this video is real or it's AI? Hit me up in the comments and let me know. And as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Okay. See, because you guys want to get continue for me to keep that series going, I'm gonna say that's AI, man. Tell me down below. I want to interact with you guys, bro. That has to be AI. The way she was falling down, you knew that was AI, but that's not real, bro.
This video is absolutely terrifying. Please watch it. Look how tiny this dude is in comparison to this giant sculpture. Like, yes, this video is fake, but it is so freaking creepy. If you're scared of underwater stuff, just watch it.
Couldn't be me.
Who the hell are they? Who are they? This one's real. This is a massive statue that is in Germany, and look how tiny the dude is in comparison to it. Like, yes, the first video is fake, but all the other things I'm showing you are going to be real. So if you have megalophobia, which is fear of big things, or submechanophobia, fear of massive things underwater that are man-made, you're not going to be liking this video at all. Look at this one. Look how tiny the dude is in comparison to it. This is in Abu Dhabi. Oh my god, this thing is huge. Like, look at that. Could you imagine sitting there and, like, looking out and seeing this massive statue in the water with it, like, reaching out to you? I would poop my pantaloons. These massive hands coming out of the water in Italy. Oh my god, that is terrifying. Look at this massive statue in the water. That's disgusting. This massive hand reaching out of the water. Like, why would you put this kind of stuff in the water and ocean? Are you trying to make me have a panic attack? How are we feeling about these? If you're scared, you have submechanophobia. Congratulations.
So today, you will not see this anymore. Sorry gang, but fast food, your cheeky Nando's, your McDonald's, gone. You're not seeing it anymore. So we know there's been a lot of rules coming into place. In the UK recently, we've had the Online Safety Act, which restricts certain things you can see. Other bans with things like cigarettes and vaping, making them a lot less appealing to children, advertising, and also not allowing anybody under a certain age. But one of the craziest things that people don't really know what's going on about is the food and drink one. The thing that came in at the end of last year was to do with sugary, fizzy drinks, which, like, you can't really get them anymore. For you Americans, you'll be shocked at this, but yeah, if you go up to a refill machine now in the UK, you can only get diet drinks, and you can only refill it once apparently, or you get, I don't know, prisoned. But now it goes a stage further. They were already restricting and trying to cut down the fast food advertising and trying to restrict certain people from getting it. But today is officially the day that advertising stops. You are not allowed to advertise junk food anymore. Food, drink, products in high fat, sugar and salt and everything will not be allowed on television or advertised before 9 PM. So you probably used to see the KFC adverts, McDonald's adverts like all day, every day. But you're only going to see these now after 9 PM when all the kids are in bed so that they don't see it and think, oh, mum, I want that. Let me know your thoughts if this is a good or a bad idea and I'll keep you updated.
You guys think they should bring that over to the USA, bro? No more fast food advertising, man, but that's gonna mess too much with their money. So I think, you know, that's a no-no, man. You gotta get their money, bro. That's how they start with the youth, man. That's how they build out, bro.
Sculpture inside the eye of a needle, he first uses tiny tools to carve a rough figure, all while looking through a microscope. But as he works, his heartbeat makes the veins in his fingers pulse, and even the slightest movement can ruin a piece. So he only works in between heartbeats. Next, he refines the shape until it's perfect, and to paint it, he plucks out a single eyelash and attaches it to a tiny handle, then uses this as a brush. For tiny ships, he uses spider webs in place of ropes, and files the bottom of the needle to make it rough, before sticking the finished piece inside, making these some of the smallest handmade sculptures in the world.
I kept seeing this pop up on my feed. Just looking at the picture. What does it look like to y'all? I see the sun, and then I see this thing right here. Is this sun number 2? The first time I seen the video, I'm like, I went past it. And then the next day, I seen this video again, and then I scrolled a little longer, and I see it again. So I'm like, how many people seen this shit?
You can fucking see it!
You see, she freaked out.
I got it! I fucking got it! Sorry, baby, I didn't mean to scream. It's the sun right there, bitch.
So what's
and
that?
And the sun right here.
2 of them.
2?
The moon is on the other fucking side. Or it's on a planet. What the fuck?
So you know I had to come to y'all. What the hell is that, fool? You see the sun shining, making little x-rays and shit. But this joint is just right there, and it's just glowed up.
Nothing at all.
You have numerous people saying that they seen this before. And they seen the one that she's talking about. I don't know, fool. I ain't never seen nothing like that before. That ain't normal, right?
Did you hear about Africa splitting into 2 continents?
What?
This is crazy. So I looked into it a little more this morning, and it's been happening for a good minute.
Okay.
But it's like this past year, it's starting in Kenya, but just like overnight, it's a couple kilometers long. Just this valley just went massive crater.
How deep
is it? It's
like a physical one, not like a topographical one.
No, well that would be both of those.
I meant like a mapographical.
What? you know, like a map of graphical.
It looks like something straight out of like a Dwayne The Rock Johnson like catastrophe movie.
Okay.
Where literally the Earth is split open.
It's like 60 feet wide. Right now it's like 50 feet deep.
Wow.
And they're saying that a new ocean is going to form into it.
I did hear about something like that.
But it's
wow.
they're saying Africa, it's literally this part of Africa is gonna like just split off.
That's crazy.
Like how they say Florida's going to?
Do they say that?
Florida's gonna sink.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think Florida's
Kind of like
gonna
Venice.
Hold your breath.
Physically going to split into 2 continents. I thought you were saying like
Emotionally, it's gonna split.
Shut.
It's only been 2 days since Apple released their iPhone Pocket, and it's already becoming the most controversial product of the year. Now, Apple's Pocket announcement was met with huge trolling online, especially since what's essentially a sock was priced at $150 for the short version and $230 for the long one.
You spend a penny on the iPhone Pocket?
But, it was limited edition. It was also reminiscent of, 20 years ago, Apple releasing the iPod Sock. But that was $29 for a 6-pack. So many people started making videos online saying that this was the worst product Apple has ever dropped.
No one should be buying a literal sock. If you walk anywhere near me wearing an iPhone Pocket, I'm gonna do something to your pocket.
And if people actually spent that much money on a piece of cloth, we were past the point of no return. Especially considering the current cost of living crisis everyone's always complaining about. But when they were released on Friday, they sold out. Almost immediately. So, for the people who did cop, maybe just wait a couple of days for things to cool down before wearing them in public.
I'm gonna do something to your pocket.
Who's spending $250 on a damn sock, bro? I promise you, man, these companies, bro, they be coming up together. They be like, what's the most stupidest thing where we could put our name on our product and people gonna buy it no matter what, bro? Apple could have some damn water, sell some water for like $50, but limited edition, man. That's just gonna sell out, bro, just because of the logo of the brand. Come on, bro. Let's leave the Apple freaking socks in 2025, bro. Please, man.
Labubu's are popping off right now? Recession. Yeah, Labubu's popping off is one of the key signs that we're headed there right now. Yes. You know what happened before? No. And you know what's very similar to Labubu's that used to pop off?
Okay, wait, let me think.
During the 2008 economic depression, there was a huge boost in sales of one product very similar to Labubu's, and I bought hella as a kid. You probably had one too. I'm sure. Pokemon cards? Nope. Yo, I'm telling you, you would go into elementary school and kids would have it at recess. Some kids would put it on their desk.
Wait.
And it's very similar to a Labubu, bro. Around 2008.
Is it a stuffed animal or
Yes,
no?
yes. Okay. Please tell me you know.
No, I don't, fat butt.
Remember Club Penguin Puffles? Is that not Labubu's, bro?
No, that's the same. You can hang
And you can hang it.
Yeah, you can hang the
And that
Puffles.
happened just before the economic depression, bro. The housing market crash. 2008, that's like peak Club Penguin, bro.
Yeah. The boo-boos are right now. Damn,
that means we're headed to some
no,
shit,
that
bro.
means we're close, though.
I know.
They're about to do some shit in LA that's about to shake the world. So I know you heard of underground cities. And I know you heard people say there are civilizations living underground. Well, allegedly in LA, that's what they got planned. Look at this shit.
So if LA couldn't get any creepier with all the problems with crime and homeless, I ran into this billboard
Listen to what she's about to
on
say.
this lot. So this is a vacant lot for construction. And it says, live life deeper. 144 stories underground. You may never go outside again.
What? That shit just said, you may never go outside again. So now you gotta ask yourself, who are they building these places for? And with all the shit that's going on right now, it's real convenient that they're building a space underground. You have the United States just running to Venezuela. Take their president. And in doing so, this put the world on notice. Almost putting the bullseye on the United States back. And they're talking about building underground cities. An underground apartment complex. Somewhere where you'll never go outside again. My question is, why wouldn't you be able to come outside again? Then I jump down the rabbit hole. And if you do the same thing, you'll see allegedly people are already living underground.
What?
We're going to stay on topic though. Why are they building these buildings? Why are they building these buildings underground? I'm out.
You mean Aisho Smeed just met his real-life long-lost twin? Today, during Aisho Smeed's Africa tour, he literally met his twin. And the things that they did on stream together had to be the most funniest things that I have ever seen Aisho Smeed do. And this is where it gets even more insane. Aisho Smeed's long-lost twin should actually be a permanent member of Aisho Smeed's stream, and that he is more funnier than Aisho Smeed's actual brother, Jamal. And even more funnier, Aisho Smeed's bodyguard literally couldn't even tell the difference between these two. They had the most funnest day. They went to the go-kart track. They even ran a two-man and rizzed up these girls from Africa. This is where it gets more sadder. A lot of people are saying that since Aisho Smeed is having so much more fun over there in Africa, and it looks like he might never come back to the United States of Americas, and that Aisho Smeed wants to stay with his long-lost twin forever. Subscribe if you think Aisho Smeed should come back to America.
Toyota just... I think you know he's coming back, right, bro? He's the guy that told the whole world, man, Speedbro is killing in Africa right now, bro. He's on a generational run right now, man. Gotta give him his props. The fact that he found his twin is crazy, bro. They having a Barco? What the hell?
Just unveiled a self-driving car designed specifically for children, and it might be the most controversial vehicle ever made. It's called the Kids Mobi, a tiny pod-shaped vehicle with a bubble canopy, a single seat, and animated pixel eyes on the front that actually look around and give it personality. The idea is simple. Your kid gets in, the dome closes, and it drives them to school, soccer practice, or a friend's house completely on its own with no adult inside. Parents can track the vehicle in real time, set approved destinations, and even watch their child through a built-in camera. The car uses sensors, cameras, and AI to navigate traffic while keeping speeds low and routes predictable. Toyota says this could free up parents from the endless school runs and give kids independence earlier than ever before. But here's where it gets tricky. Autonomous vehicles for adults still aren't fully reliable, and now we're talking about putting children inside them alone. One malfunction, one accident, and this entire concept could be finished before it even starts. Right now, it's just a prototype shown at a tech expo in Japan, but Toyota clearly believes this is the future of family transportation. Would you put your kid in a self-driving car with no adult inside? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed stories like this, follow my page for more.
No! No! That's my response.
Oh, I got y'all now. What if I told you your water that you drink isn't just dead, it's keeping you spiritually asleep? See, in ancient times, they knew, bro. They knew it wasn't just for hydrating the body. Y'all don't see this copper tin that he pouring it in through a pot cone? Stay on it. That's because water holds memory. It holds energy and it's conscious, bro. Stick with it, and when you speak positive over it, it flows and it spirals. These are crystals after water being exposed to certain words of positivity. I love you, let's do it, and so on and so forth.
Interesting.
But today, they barter. I wonder why they barter the water in plastic and not copper. Once it go into these bottles, it's stripped of minerals. It's no benefit to drinking the dead water, bro. But see, living water, it connects you to your higher self and the source itself. And dead water disconnects you from the source, y'all. Do y'all get what I'm saying? River water, fresh water, dead water, living water, alligators, dolphins. Come on, man. It's the reason why they say river monsters, bro. Those are negative charged animals, bro. Start structuring your water so you can have living water. There's a link in my bio for the full protocol. Save this and stay aware because they hide what heals for a reason.
Interesting theory. Well, sinkholes are freaking so scary, man. They could just pop up out of nowhere. That's one of my biggest fears, man. Just driving on the street and a sinkhole appears. No telling where it's gonna happen, bro.
Another kind of thick meat, 3D printed steak is here. Let me show you this, and after I do, I'll tell you why it's not so great.
A juicy, sizzling steak.
made by computer. While obtaining regular meat is a process that's been taking place for millennia, cow, butcher, beef, Redefined Meat, a meat alternative startup out of Israel, makes their product using a highly technical process. The mix of soy and pea protein, chickpeas, beetroot, nutritional yeast, and coconut fat is formed into steak-like shapes using a 3D printer.
Our goal is to become the largest meat company in the world just by harnessing technology instead of animals.
Meat substitutes are not new, but unlike the soy-based crumbles that mimic ground beef, Redefined Meat's product is designed to act, taste, and cut like flank steak.
This is the holy grail of alternative meat.
But the most important part, how does it taste? This diner was happy.
The texture feels right. Even the smell smells like the real thing. Really authentic for me.
Now, I'm not going to talk about that company at all. But if somebody else is making 3D printed meat, how can we possibly know what's really in it? Especially if it tastes like the real thing. There's this stuff called microplastics that's become so prevalent from all the stuff that people have made with plastics that it's being found in human tissue. Who's to say some company making 3D printed meat couldn't accidentally put some of that in there? Look, I'm gonna keep eating the way I do, because I'm old, fat, and the damage is done for me. But to the younger people out there, I say, please be cautious. Because after stories like this, you never know what you're really eating. Shabadoo Bushkis! Shabadoo!
See, I'm tired of being lied to. And I'm beginning to think if you're following me, then you guys are too. Because I want to know whose idea was it to inform us and let us know that a dog's tongue was cleaner than ours. Because, look at this. Because I don't believe this person has ever seen what a dog's tongue looks like under a microscope. This is a dog after it's eating some dog food. Okay? This is what you let kiss you after he eats its food. Look at this, y'all. What is this? What? Because why would a dog's tongue have all of this activity on it after it's got done eating some food? What are they putting in the food? What are they doing to the food? We've spoken about this before, y'all. Have you guys seen what a cat's tongue looks like under a microscope? Look at all that slobber and slime, bro. These animals' tongues cannot be cleaner than ours. No way. We are very hygienic. We brush our teeth. Who said this? It couldn't have been one of us. Look at this. What is this? What is this? It looks like a whole bunch of tadpoles swimming around.
It do.
Yeah, America, I'm tired of being lied to, man. It's time for new everything. All of this shit gotta go. All of this information gotta go. It's time for new everything. New history books, new books on animals, new everything. All this gotta go. Ain't no way in hell you're going to tell me the tongue of something that literally picks up feces, right? And then will eat any and everything's tongue is cleaner than ours, y'all. Nah, not human at all. Not humanly possible at all. This right here is beyond abnormal. Let me know what you guys think about this. What is this, y'all? The ship is here.
This map shows how many cities does each country have that have more than 1 million people. The United States and Mexico both have 10, but it's kind of shocking to me that Brazil has 17, Russia has 16, India's got 46, and China has nearly 100. The world is a big place, but there are some notable places here that have 0, like Greenland and Iceland, Finland, Norway. These are the results of the 1936 presidential election for Franklin D. Roosevelt, and wow. But don't worry, because we also have the 1972 election map with Richard Nixon. And yeah, this map shows the percentage of population in every U.S. state that has never been married. The lowest is in Idaho and Wyoming, meaning more people there are married than anywhere else. And then there's Washington, D.C., where more people are not married than are married. This map shows the total births per woman in countries around the world. The darkest blue areas have less than 1 child per woman, like China. And the darkest red countries have 6 to 7 children on average, like many countries in Africa.
This person heard a mimic calling their name in the dark.
Watch.
Okay.
Right now?
As you should be. You're by yourself in the dark.
Yeah, it smells weird right now.
This is like some found footage type stuff. So they're kicking around the ball. Pretty normal stuff.
What was I just with?
Mistake number 1.
Don't go out there. Whole movie 101.
Go back tomorrow and go get it. Don't worry about it right now.
Hello?
You hear that?
You heard it?
Get out of there now. Turn and run.
That would have been bingo.
It's like there's something else in those woods.
Oh no.
You hear that?
I'm done.
That was their own voice.
Smart.
Stay weird, y'all. It's a weird world.
What is going on in the skies over El Paso, Texas? It seems like every day there's a brand new sighting of something that doesn't belong in the nighttime sky. A woman and her son were out in their backyard when they heard something flying over that did not sound or look like a plane. She took her phone and quickly recorded. Take a look at this video. Look at this.
What is that?
What the fuck?
Look at that. Holy shit. What is that? What is this? Watch.
Mom. Dude, what the fuck was that?
Excuse the language, but I don't blame them. What the heck was that? It seems like every day we're starting to see different unidentified flying objects over major cities in the US and around the world. What are your thoughts on what the heck that was? Let me know in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
UFO?
The basilisk animatronic in Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets was mostly practical effects, and it's a 30-foot long animatronic. Let's talk about it. Here's Bro getting hosed down for his take. This is actually horrific to see how. Here's another horrifying photo of it before it was like painted or whatever. Look how big it is in comparison to this person, like, and how long. 30-foot long, 1.5 tons. Here's some more information about it if you want to pause to read. I was under the impression that this was all CGI up until like a couple years ago. And now, just to think about this animatronic existing is freaking me out. I'm not even scared of snakes, but I hate this thing. And if you paused to read a moment ago, you would have seen that it has 3-foot deep jaws.
Damn.
So this thing is huge. Why is Bro looking at me like that? Here's another little thing of it behind the scenes where you see like the arm dolly doing it, and then it goes into Salazar Slytherin's mouth. Sick. I used to be an absolutely massive Harry Potter fan. Like, it was everything to me growing up. And Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is my favorite Harry Potter movie, and I've seen it probably over 1,000 times. I no longer like Harry Potter nearly as much as I did because of J.K. Rowling. So thanks for ruining it for me, lady. But at least this animatronic can keep me on my toes.
You guys to meet Young Hoon Kim. He is from South Korea, and he is the smartest man alive. He has the highest IQ, which is 276. He's number 1 in the world, highest IQ. This man says that he believes that Jesus Christ is God. And this is monumental because a lot of people who are smart like to say that people who believe in a God are not as intelligent. But here we have the most intelligent man on the face of the planet alive, who is saying that Jesus Christ is Lord, and he believes that all scientists, all quantum physics, all everything leads back to Jesus Christ.
Preach.
So I believe that Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by Jesus. A bold declaration, because people who are this smart, they are professing to be wise, but then they become fools. It would be so easy for him to be super conceited and cocky and give himself all the glory, but no, he takes the attention off of himself and he gives it to Jesus Christ. This is amazing. Amazing story.
To see this, it might already be too late. If you're like a lot of people, you probably had dreams of going to these beaches, finding the sea sparkle, touching it, going and swimming with it. But yeah, this sea sparkle you see, yes, it is real, but it's also not that safe. So this is actually caused by bioluminescent algae, which of course isn't great, especially if you're going to ingest or touch it. It's these microscopic algae, which is dinoflagellates, don't know how to pronounce it, but they are what cause this amazing phenomenon, and yeah, it's amazing to look at. But a lot of people want to put their hands in it because it has a cool sensation, or they want to actually go swimming in it. But people have actually been evacuated from beaches for swimming in it because it's actually quite dangerous. When it blooms and obviously gives this amazing effect, it actually releases highly toxic chemicals, which of course are not great for you if you're going to be swimming in it. And it literally poisons the water or the sand, depending on where it is. Although the glow looks gorgeous, it's actually a warning sign sent from these little guys who are basically saying, hey, we're about to poison the water, get out. And yeah, it can make you quite ill if you were to digest it, or if you're touching it, come out in a lot of rashes or cuts and things like that. So just stick to looking at it, don't swim in there, mate.
Thanks for the warning.
Wild. Police have just found a woman from Russia living in a cave with her 2 kids in India. But strangely, they don't really have a clear picture on how they got there, who they really are, or how long they've been living in this cave. Reports say that authorities in India happened to notice some bright clothes outside a cave while on a routine patrol throughout the forest. When they decided to investigate, they found a 40-year-old Russian national along with her 2 daughters aged only 5 and 6. Police said it appeared that they were living in this cave, and when they told them it was dangerous because of landslides in the region, snakes, and other wild animals, the mother replied, "Animals and snakes are our friends. Humans are dangerous." Either way, they took her in for questioning, where she said that her name is Nina Kutina and claimed that for the last 15 years she's been living all over the world. Authorities said that they've managed to track down her husband, who is apparently an Israeli businessman who's currently in India, and they're now trying to persuade him to pay for them to be sent back to Russia. And according to the mother, this isn't the first time she's lived in a cave. In fact, she even said that one of her daughters was born in a cave in a different part of India, and that they're all happy, safe, and living healthy this way. And ironically, now that she's been taken out of a cave and put in a detention center waiting to be deported, she's complaining about how dirty it is and how there's not enough food.
Can I even go say what what she said was wrong? How she said animals are friends, man. Humans are more dangerous, bro. In today's age, man, this time, I don't think she was lying, bro. That's not a crazy take. But the fact that she was living in a cave for 15 years, bro, and no animals and stuff was disturbing her, so I don't know if she was on or something or not, but I couldn't do that, man. 15 years in a cave, not for me.
This might be the clearest picture and video we have ever gotten from a UFO that's real and not AI. This was captured in Colombia, in the Medellin. Look at this shit, y'all.
Okay.
If anybody got any other bright ideas on what this may be, let me know down below in the comments. Because I know it's not a balloon. It's not a hot air balloon because it's not up that high. And look at the jump spinning. Look at it. It got flames in the bottom. This is weird, fool. It's like a duck shape. A diamond metallic shape. No, that's not a balloon. That's too big to be. Then the jump disappeared, y'all. That jump was just hovering, spinning. And then it started going away, y'all. Look.
Could be an orb.
So like I said, somebody let me know down below in the comments what y'all think that is. Because me personally, I don't know what that is. I have never seen nothing like that before.
Now that I'm seeing this shit go viral, I can't unsee this shit. They out here saying that Casanat looked like he did his something. Hold on 1 second. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. And that ain't the only video. Hold on 1 second. Look at this shit right here. Look at this shit.
Is this Casanat? Or am I tripping?
What the fuck?
That's him at 19. This is Kai's dad.
Nah, man. Kai, good guy. I love everything Kai do, but you cannot tell me that those videos that I just showed right there do not resemble that young man. No disrespect. But you know that he was running around the Bronx. Mount Vernon is right there. And where Casanat come from? The Bronx. Am I right or wrong? If I'm wrong, just let me know. If I'm right, just tell me I'm right. And if you think he looked like Casanat, or you think Casanat looked like him when he was young, let me know. I'm out.
Just because Kai and Diddy I guess that's from the branch, but people keep drawing those parallels, but I personally don't see it, man. It's like, bro, people have been dragging this joke for a while. We saw what happened at the Stream Awards. Obviously, we can sell cars. It's kind of over it. I think, obviously, man, people, they have their theories, but I think it's time to wrap it up, bro. We all know, man, Kai Cenat is not Diddy's son. That's just a fact, man. We need to move on, bro.
Hear about the Bigfoot War of 1855. What? This happened in eastern Oklahoma. And it started with the Choctaw Native Americans and the farmers in this region of Oklahoma. They noticed that a lot of food and supplies were missing from their camps, from their homes, from their farms. So like, what in the world is taking our stuff? They didn't think much of it, but it continued to get worse and worse and worse until women and children started being kidnapped. And it got to a point where there were so many women and children that the Choctaws set up a hunting party to go catch whoever's kidnapping their women and children. And it was led by a man named Joshua LaFleur. But with this party, there was a Choctaw warrior, Hamas Tubby. Him and his 6 sons were all over 7 feet tall, and they weighed 300 pounds or more. They were called the Light Horsemen because they were such good warriors on horseback, even with their stature and size. That's awesome. They rode for a full day to this forest in eastern Oklahoma, pulled out his little spyglass thing, and he ordered the entire hunting party to charge. So they charged into the woods, and they came into an opening, and they saw these creatures. They described them as ape-like creatures scurry into the woods. There was body parts everywhere.
From cave paintings to space telescopes, mysterious anomalies have been recorded in our skies for as long as we can remember. Massive objects appearing to descend from above, often surrounded by beings kneeling in fear and awe. Many ancient texts, like the Anunnaki, the Book of Enoch, the Mayan Popol Vuh, and the Vedas from Hindu mythology, all warn of some form of all-powerful watchers that come down from the heavens and direct the course of humanity to their will. Today, deep space telescopes detect faraway visitors making their way towards us, like 3i Atlas, the enormous interstellar object set to pass by us in November, which many scientists have been warning exhibits characteristics of intelligent design. A pattern we've kinda seen recorded across thousands of years of human existence, etched into the walls of caves, stone tablets, statues, parchment scripts, books, and now the internet. Visitors that, according to their stories, fundamentally rewrote the trajectory of civilization as we know it. But don't worry guys, it's probably just a comment, right?
If you know Stitch as a whole, you know what that was made for? What? That was made because Disney bought so many resorts in Hawaii and they needed a way to market and bring people over to Hawaii. Oh, word. They needed to up the consumerism and up the tourism in Hawaii, so they made that movie.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's some W marketing.
Yeah, bro. And then, bro, yo, think about it. Disney resorts, man. They tied travel and entertainment from the start. Yeah. Oh, if we make a movie about this place, people will travel there. And they'll pick a place that doesn't have a lot of, I guess, resorts built or anything going on yet. Boom, let's build it up and then drop the movie.
That's some smart marketing, bro.
Yeah. Did you bag IShowSpeed, fam? He's getting paid by the countries to promote the places he's going to. The tourism departments of these countries are paying him so that he can promote it.
That's so smart, man.
That's why he only went to specific countries, fam, because he's getting the bag for it.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's like, why would Speed be in Mongolia? Like,
really? I don't know about that one. I just think Speed likes to travel, man. It's one of the popular live streams, so the bag won't come to him naturally.
You can now DoorDash sunlight from space. Fleck Orbital just made it possible to order sunlight from space and beam it to any location on Earth. They've launched satellites with massive mirrors that reflect sunlight down to specific coordinates you choose, creating a 3-mile circle of light in 4-minute intervals anywhere on the planet. The original purpose was the charging solar farms at night so they can generate power 24/7, completely eliminating the biggest limitation of solar energy, which is that the sun goes down. But now they're accepting orders from anyone, meaning you can light up all of Lower Manhattan with a single tap on an app. For disaster relief, this is revolutionary because when hurricanes knock out power grids, you can instantly provide emergency lighting for rescue operations, charge solar batteries and devices, and help stranded people signal their location to first responders. But here's where it gets concerning. This same technology could be weaponized to blind enemies or disrupt operations, and there are massive questions about who gets to control where sunlight gets beamed and whether you need consent to shine it on someone's property. Nocturnal wildlife depends on darkness for survival, and this could disrupt entire ecosystems. Plus, we're adding more satellites to an already crowded orbit, which increases collision risks and space debris. When one company can control sunlight itself and sell it as a service, That's either the solution to our energy crisis or the beginning of something we're not ready to handle.
The beginning of something we're not ready to handle, bro. People should not have the control over sunlight and make money over it. And so, and like, yeah, who's gonna be like, yeah, I control sunlight? Like, what? How can you even claim that? There's no way you can like even claim that, bro. That's going down a dark path, man. Like the movie The Lorax, man, where they was literally selling like bottled air, bro. Sunlight is a basic need, man. How can how is that even possible to begin with? Like to regulate, to govern that. That's going down a dark old world.
Pearl fell from the Empire State Building. It would probably fall. Its body spreads out and its tail fans wide, giving the air more space to push back up on it as it falls, meaning it could only ever reach about 20 miles per hour, which means it would probably survive the fall. Now, if you dropped it all the way up from a plane, it could still spread out its body and plop safely to the ground.
Not 56 on the dot.
You do look old.
These kids, man. Look at them.
Cabbage Patch Kids?
Look at their face. These kids, man. You can't tell me this kid.
You just found out the person behind the AI Yeti and Sasquatch videos, and I don't know if I like these videos anymore. Not only were these my most favorite videos that I've seen in a long time, they were literally the most refreshingest use of AI that I've ever seen. Because it was just like chill and fun, but now it's not so chill and fun anymore. Because literally all of these accounts, whether it's a Sasquatch, Yeti, bear, even the monkeys, have literally been so fun and entertaining to watch. And with the amount of AI slop that I've literally been seeing everywhere since the Google VO drop, now that I know what I know, everything just got so much more worser. Because I have literally been watching these videos like they are real people. It is filling the massive outdoor boys hole that has been left in my heart. Every new video keeps filling my hole even more and more, but now it just doesn't. Literally move like real people. The details from the fur to the GoPro on some of these is just mind-blowing. I hope I see more of these videos because they are literally the most funnest things ever. However, I don't want certain people making them. Hopefully new people start making these videos, because these are literally just going to keep getting more and more better. For right now, I can no longer watch these videos. You still going to be watching these videos?
Yeah, I'm telling y'all right now that something is up with this so-called moon or whatever it is. Because look at the skies of Oakland, California the other night, y'all. Because why are these animals are reacting to the so-called moon or this second sun? And it's not just the crows, y'all, but everybody is saying that the animals are acting off. I made a video. Everyone was recording what was going on with these crows. I don't know if they are reacting to the energy of the moon or the second sun. But like I said, y'all, so many people have been saying that their animals are acting strange. And now look at these crows. Look at the moon. So do y'all believe because this thing is a lot closer that it's playing on the frequencies of animals and people? Yep. Because this moon being a lot closer makes sense as to why animals and both humans alike have been acting and feeling strange. Because the moon controls the waters, the internal waters within us. And because we are ruled by our emotions, this explains the reason why everything has been up and down lately. You're feeling amazing, and then you hit a low point, like, and then don't forget they told us that we have another moon in our atmosphere now, and then it's gonna be here until like the 2050s. Like, bro, we didn't learn any of this when we were younger. We were told we had one moon and one sun. And then somewhere in the mix, they talk about Planet X or Planet 9, and then after that, we never heard about it again. Hold on, Planet X, hold on. Could this be what they mean when they talk about Planet X? You see how the flares make the X, right? And then you see the huge orb, you see all the beautiful Mardi Gras colors. Y'all see that, right? The purple, the teal, and all this type of stuff. Is this what they talking about? Look at that, X.
X.
X. But there's a huge orb always in the background. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
X. Y'all see that? And then again, the huge orb. X again. And then there you go with the huge orb behind it.
Pattern.
I don't know what's going on, y'all, but they are trying to hide something. Because look at this picture. Why does it look like a whole nother world back there? I mean, look at the detail of the so-called clouds, right? Look at this, y'all. What are they hiding? This picture right here just blows my mind. Look at the detail. Just look at the detail. But let me know down in the comments below, y'all. The animals are everybody's feeling it, y'all. Not everybody.
Companies you didn't know have a dark history, part 1.
Okay.
Nestle, the chocolatier of horror. The Willy Wonka of the real world, most people know Nestle for producing candies like Kit Kat and the Crunch Bar, but their history, unlike the products they sell, is anything but sweet. In the 1970s, Nestle began an aggressive marketing campaign in several underdeveloped countries in an attempt to promote their baby formula and increase profits. The problem was, their marketing tactics were completely unethical. They hired fake nurses and were handing out free samples in hospitals, all the while trying to convince local mothers that their formula was healthier than the free and natural breast milk they already had. And it worked. Mothers began using the formula. And then, when their milk dried up from a lack of use, they had no choice but to use the formula. A formula that, when mixed with the unclean drinking waters these communities had available to them, would become nothing short of deadly. At its peak, their formula is estimated to have caused more than 200,000 infants a year to lose their lives, and more than 10 million to date. The incident caused massive protests, and you might be thinking, surely since they still exist, they must have learned their lesson and changed their ways, right? Well, I'm afraid the answer is no. No, they did not. Comment if you want me to continue this series, and if this has changed your perspective towards Nestle, and follow for more.
Let's talk about this.
Definitely changed my perspective.
A TikToker named Samuel said he was walking through a parking lot when a random man suddenly called his name. Whoever made the packaging for bacon needs to be fired. Cause why is there no like Ziploc or anything on these packages? Who designed it? When I find you, I'm going to steal your dog. I'm gonna give you the worst life you can ever have. I hate you. He looked at the guy and got closer to see if he knew him. But he had no idea who he was. And he wondered, how did the guy even know his name? That's when things started to turn weird. The man asked him for $1 and said he knew that he had one on him right now. I don't know how he knew that, but I would have told him to mind your business. Stop pocket watching. Hey, I got a question. Do y'all like chocolate milk or strawberry milk? Comment down below. Samuel said at this point his heart was beating out of his chest. He told the man, yeah, I have $1. You can have it. The man then snatched the $1 out of his hand and asked him if he wanted to see something. The man lifted up the back of his shirt, showed Samuel his tail. He then got on all fours, like an animal, you know, a dog, a lizard, and crawled away. Now look, man, I know this all sounds crazy, right? But as soon as Samuel had that interaction, he went straight to his car, recorded a TikTok video, uploaded the TikTok video. Okay, bro, so the weirdest thing just happened to me. Try this baby right here. No, that's a good BLT. I checked his page, and he hasn't posted since. That was his last video. If somebody knows Samuel, let me know if he's still alive, because that was his last video posted, and that was in 2022.
Damn. What do you guys think about the Skinwalker
While the
story?
world is focusing on Florida, not many people know that the Sahara Desert is flooding right now. And the pictures are insane. After 6 consecutive years of drought, the Moroccan Sahara was hit with what meteorologists called an extra-tropical storm. And they have brought an amount of rain that the region hasn't seen in up to 50 years. And here's the crazy part. This flooding may actually change the course of the region's weather for months and years to come. That's because the air will now retain more moisture, which causes more evaporation and draws in more storms. NASA satellites showed water rushing in to fill the famous Lake Erie, which had been dry for almost 50 years. This is the scare.
That's kind of scary, man, to see how our planet's reacting, bro. It's called the Sahara Desert for a reason, man. And it's flooded now, bro. That's proof right there that we need, bro. That our planet is changing. We gotta do better, man.
Scariest thing that ever happened to America. Okay, we all know that America had a lot of scary things happen to it. But what I'm about to tell you has to be the scariest thing ever. On August 29th, 1968, every single TV in America shut down. And a demonic whispering was coming from every single TV in America. Many people believed it was the devil trying to get across some sort of message, but nobody really understood it. This lasted for about 25 seconds, and then all the TVs came back on. To this day, nobody knows what caused it or why it happened, but every single person believed it was the works of the devil.
Could that have just been a glitch in the system? Or something else, man. Every spirit trying to, like I said, get a message across. That's obviously an edit right there.
Times
when companies dissed others, part 3.
Okay.
In 2001, Coca-Cola announced that they sold 4 more times than Pepsi. So Pepsi, being salty, decided to create this whole ad of a boy going to a vending machine, getting 2 Cokes from the vending machine, just so he can stand on the cans and get a Pepsi. They are honestly ruthless for this. Next, in 2014, Mercedes made a commercial showing how a chicken can keep their head still while their bodies move, saying Mercedes can do the same thing with their car stability. However, the car company Jaguar saw this and decided to make almost the exact same commercial.
Word for word, bar for bar, bro.
But at the end, a jaguar straight up destroys the chicken. That's cruel.
Scary facts you'll think about at night. Horned lizards squirt blood from their eyes. The Devil's Bible is a real book. If the sun exploded, you would not know about it for 8 minutes.
Oh.
20% of children report hearing voices.
There is something sinister that's occurred in the heart of Caddo Lake. An 8-year-old girl has completely vanished in or near the lake, which of course has left her family and loved ones completely devastated. This place is nestled within a remote and desolate swamp. Caddo Lake is shrouded in mystery. It's dark trees, murky waters, and there are countless hidden spots that would make it perfect for somebody to disappear. As the search for Anna continues, there has been a startling discovery. There are secrets buried deep within this eerie lake, far more than I think anybody could have imagined. Now, this chilling premise is the basis for the latest suspense and mystery film, produced by M. Night Shyamalan, premiering on Max Thursday, October 10th. Don't miss the stars Dylan O'Brien and Eliza Scanlon as they unravel the terrifying secrets hidden beneath the surface, only on Max.
This is how
Should I check that out?
actually are. Firstly, less than 1% of people can swallow 5 times on a single breath. So hold your breath and just swallow your saliva 5 times. It is very difficult to do. I can do it, but my siblings can't. So 20%
I
of
can't.
people have a gap in their teeth. I had a really bad tooth gap back in the day. So if anyone makes fun of you for having a tooth gap, just know you are more rare than them. If you're a naturally blonde individual, man or woman, you're actually quite rare in comparison to the rest of the world, because only 2% of people are naturally blonde, so pretty cool. Here are some new animals that were discovered in 2022. Only 42% of the earth has been discovered, so it's no surprise that new animals keep spawning. So let's see. The first known fox dog has just been discovered in Brazil after being hit by a car. I beg your pardon, but
What?
it did survive. That is one gangster-ass dog. I would definitely adopt this creature. If it doesn't eat cats, because I don't want Ash getting clapped. Speaking of cats, in Australia, they found a new type of cat shark. What is a cat shark? And they called it a demon cat shark because apparently it looks like a demon. Yeah, I kind of see it. I don't know what that is, but staying far away from that. Lastly, a new flying cockroach was discovered in the Philippines. And apparently it's so fast that you can't even catch it.
Whoa. You still freaking learning new animals up to this year, bro? Makes you think, man. What else have we discovered? Earth is a big place, especially under the sea. We don't know what's lurking in there.
Money facts that will blow your mind. Content creators on OnlyFans made more money than all of the NBA players combined. Corinna Kopp has made more in 3 years than Klay Thompson has in his recent 3-year NBA contract. If you've been subscribed to Netflix since 2007, you've paid them almost $2,000. If you had instead invested that $2,000 into Netflix back then, you would have over $350,000 today. Paul Walker secretly bought a $9,000 engagement ring for an Iraq veteran that he overheard in a jewelry store telling his soon-to-be wife that he wasn't going to be able to afford it. Disney spends $50 million a year on fireworks. That's over $130,000 a night. Amazon will lose over $1 billion a year if it went 1 second slower. These are the average retirement savings in the United States by age group. The average for under 35 is $50,000. Average by the time you're 65 is over $600,000. The New York Stock Exchange is owned by a company named Intercontinental Exchange, which has its stock listed on the New York Stock Exchange.
This is why you should.
I'm sorry, it's just that freaking OnlyFans versus NBA salaries, man, it's getting to me, bro. That many people are subbing up to OnlyFans where they're making more than NBA players. Damn, that's a shame, bro. I would even think something like that's possible, man. They making meals, bro. A month? Whew. What has the world come to, Seekies?
To be scared of Ouija boards. A former Reddit user said that he used a Ouija board with results and let something into his home. He said that he has also been physically assaulted by this entity. He said that it started out with a feeling that he was being watched. Doors closing and footsteps on the hardwood floor when he was home alone. All of this slowly progressed into being kept awake by something shaking the bed and pulling off the covers. He said that sometimes he even heard whispers of his name. The board would disappear for days on end and then show up in places that he never even put it. He became obsessed with it. Things got even worse though. He said that he began to see a black mass in the corner of the room and the silhouette of a man watching him from the doorway. One night, the paranormal activity escalated into a full-blown attack. He said that he had his hair pulled, fingers pricked, and that he was choked while being held down in bed. During the attack, he claims that this thing whispered into his ear in what could have only been Latin. After this event, he finally decided to have his house blessed, and fortunately, this entity hasn't shown back up. He said that he will never again play with one of those boards.
These are the top 5
Can
most
never
disturbing
do.
entities from the Home Safety Hotline DLC. At number 5, we have the False Caroler. These are basically big humanoid creatures with feathers. They approach your front door after dark and start this weird, twisted singing. They do this so they can lure you out, take you away, and feed you to their young. At number 4, we have Lucy. If it's hailing outside, watch out because Lucy can slip into your home. Once inside, she tries to look for humans and pets to steal their warmth. At number 3, we have the Hunt. This is not a snowstorm, it's fungus. What looks like snow here is actually spores. And those spores turn people into whites, basically coughing zombies that die after 48 hours. At number 2, we have Hans. Hans is a cloth creature that occupies homes. And once it does, it changes the personalities of the people that live there, making them more hazardous and wild. And at number 1, is Perchta. If you have a messy home, there's a chance that Perchta could come visit. And if she finds you there, she literally turns you into a scarecrow, killing you instantly.
3 disturbing facts about your favorite cartoons. Number 3. Peter Pan is actually the angel of death. He would take kids to Neverland, which represented the afterlife. That's why none of the kids there get older, because they're already dead. Number 2. In Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin has severe schizophrenia, and all the other characters represent his mental disorder. Tigger, ADHD, Eeyore, depression, Piglet, anxiety. Bloody sad. And number 1, Pokemon was never real. In episode 1, Ash Ketchum balls off his bike and lands directly on his head, which then puts him into a coma. And it's led to believe that his entire journey after that is all in his head. Day officially ruined. Cheers, legends.
I thought he had to catch them all though, bro. What the
weirdest
heck?
facts about Australia you didn't know. Kangaroos have 3 vaginas. Next, Australia has the biggest cattle farm in the world. And it is bigger than the whole country of Israel in size. Moving on, there's around 10,000 beaches in Australia, but less than 1,000 of them can be visited at any time. And did you know around 80% of all plants and animals are unique to Australia, meaning you can find them anywhere else in the world.
Wow. I need to go to Australia, bro. That's on the bucket list, man. But I heard they got some big spiders. I know we don't do that, though. Right, they're huge, man, over Australia. That's it.
The worst times to be alive in history, part 1. 536 AD. In 536 AD, most of the world went dark for up to 18 months, as a mysterious fog ruled over Europe, the Middle East, and a part of Asia. The fog blocked the sun during the day, causing temperatures to drop, crops to fail, and people to die. Follow for the next time.
You are going to want to keep the light on for these spooky facts from history. Prince Anastasia and her sisters were actually very close to Rasputin. They were taught to treat him as their friend and confidant, and when they died, it was revealed that they each wore amulets with his picture inside. Mary I of England wanted a child so badly she actually had a phantom pregnancy. Her abdomen swelled, she stopped menstruating, and she even vomited in the mornings. But no child came. The most chilling part, Mary thought it was God punishing her for tolerating heretics. The incident may very well have led to her brutal punishments of non-Catholics, earning her the nickname Bloody Mary. In the summer of 1518 in Strasbourg, France, a lone woman started dancing in the streets. But soon enough, people joined her, and they couldn't stop. The so-called dancing plague lasted for months, was maybe even fatal, and its reasons are still unknown today. In Brazil one year, a 2-year-old boy died from pneumonia. The family was shocked when he sat upright at the funeral and asked for a glass of water. Then suddenly, he collapsed again, leaving the coroner to proclaim him dead once more.
What? Twice, man? He woke up, asked for some water, and then gone again? That is chilling, bro.
Spookiest facts that will keep you up at night. There's over 100 known serial killers that haven't been caught. The world's largest pyramid is not in Egypt, but in Mexico. 12% of people dream without any color imagery. The human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap.
Not the scariest thing in the ocean. Close, but not the scariest thing in the ocean. Not even the Oreo equalizer. Nah, the last animal I would want to see in the ocean. Bro, let me tell you about this squid. Now, at 5 feet 100 pounds, a Humboldt ain't even that big. Now, what makes this satanic cephalopod such a menace is they can hunt in packs of not tens, not hundreds, but up to and over 1,000. Yeah, that's 3 zeros like a Tony Snell stat line. They're called the Red Devil because they can rapidly flash the color red. And they use these flashes to communicate. It's like Morse code, but for crippling calamari. We don't know exactly how it works, but it's believed if a squid grabs something and suddenly starts pulsing red, it could be telling every squid in the area that it's free eats out here. By the way, most deep sea animals can't even see the color red. They really color coordinate with the worst side of the spectrum. Just imagine getting hunted by that. Diablo Rojo has a beak that can slice flesh, apparently crack bone, and we know they'll actively bring that smoke to humans. There's more than a couple stories of divers getting jumped by squid and nearly getting pulled into the abyss. There's also reports of them attempting to rip the masks off divers. Like, too many times for it to just be a coincidence. And see, the thing is, an orca's never offed a person in the wild, and a shark biting you is like me biting a wing and tasting cauliflower. It's an unfortunate occurrence, except the wing can't scream. There's no doubt in my mind, a pack of predatory squid would off a person. They're not even safe from themselves. They are highly cannibalistic. Like, it's a legit part of their diet. It's a different type of friendly fire. If they see a sick or injured member of their own shoal, they will eat it alive. Fun fact, if you're fishing and catch a Humboldt, you really catch 4. The one you got and the 3 others tearing it apart while you pull it up. They've also been known to destroy camera equipment and gear because aggression and violence is how they respond to the things they don't understand. Worst part is, you can get jumped by a squid, escape, and if you surface too fast, you can still end up part of the past. The ocean's so unserious. The more you know.
Blood-curdling facts that you
Stay
wish
away
you
from
never
squid.
knew. Part 21. This photo shows an 8-month-old Xiao Bao who was lucky to be alive because his mother stabbed him 90 times after he bit her while she was breastfeeding him. The world's scariest haunted house, McCamey Manor, requires you to sign a 40-page waiver and undergo a physical and mental evaluation. If you manage to make it through the house, you could win $20,000. But to this day, no one has ever made it through. Roman Emperor Nero had a boy castrated, dressed him up as a bride, and married him, all because the boy looked similar to his previous dead wife. A 46-year-old man found and attacked a 13-year-old boy because the kid was killing him too many times in a game of Call of Duty.
How the hell did he even track him down? I'm telling you, bro, you gotta be careful even on the games nowadays, bro. People take things too seriously. They will hunt you down.
Scary videos from China. In the country, there are many secret prisons known as Black Jails. One day, a journalist was given the address of one of these, and this is what she found. The woman asks the reporter if she's here to save her, but the guards quickly lock the door. The woman in the video had been taken here off the record. This video shows a man on death row saying his final goodbyes. The man's name is Li Shiyan. He begs his mother not to cry. Li also bows down as a sign of respect, before being led away to meet his fate. This is a forgotten underground village. It's located in Gansu province. The people here have no food, water, or electricity. Some work in dangerous conditions in the local mine, earning just 30 cents per day. The people are very poor and neglected.
What makes Art the Clown so
30
terrifying
cents?
is that even he doesn't know how powerful
Nah.
he is. When the first Terrifier came out, Art was clearly just your average psychopath who likes to dress up as a clown. But when Terrifier 2 came out, that's when everything changed. Not only for, the plot or the world building, but specifically for Art. Director Damon Leone admitted in an interview that when Art came back to life in the beginning of the second movie, even he was surprised, which sets an entirely different tone for the movie. When the little girl came out of nowhere, when he kind of opened up a gate to hell. Instead of being scared, the guy was laughing. Director Damien Leone admitted that he knows how this whole Terrifier saga is going to end, and everything was truly set in motion in Terrifier 2, which is when Leone really knew what he wanted to do with the character Art the Clown. Because every appearance of the clown prior to that wasn't necessarily half-baked, but even Leone admits that Art the Clown didn't necessarily come at him all at once, and it took him a while to truly figure out who that character was. However, with that said, I don't think we know exactly what Art the Clown is truly capable of. Admittedly, I have yet to see Terrifier 3, but from what I have seen online, this is far from the last time we will get to see this dude on screen. And given you know how Terrifier 2 ends, I imagine Art's true ending for this franchise is going to be one of the most historical events in horror movie history. God, I love these movies.
People who went missing and were found alive years later. In 2011, 2 fishermen from Kiribati were lost at sea for 33 days before they landed on the Marshall Islands, and when they arrived, locals took them to meet the only person on the island who spoke their language. Well, the fishermen then discovered that the only person who spoke the language was one of the fisherman's uncles who went missing 50 years earlier, who also got lost at sea. He was thought to be dead, but it turned out the uncle was perfectly fine and had a whole new life. Next, in 1997, a family in China had their young son abducted outside their home, and when an official search couldn't find their son, the father started his own search. So for the next 2 decades, he would travel all over China on motorbikes with flags of his son, and would hand out flyers everywhere. And 24 years after he spent all of his life savings, his son was finally found. Props to that father.
Friendly reminder, if you think the government won't, they absolutely
That's a blessing.
Remember that time the CIA tried to weaponize otters? It went a lot better than the dolphins, but that's only because the otters didn't off themselves. Basically, otters are a lot smarter than they get credit for. They're part of the class of animals that can use tools, and they might have one up on dolphins in that department. Add the fact that they're the only mammal that can take the ocean without blubber, can be trained by humans, and it's basically a brainy, beachside honey badger with all the audacity, but seasoned with pretty privilege. Someone in the CIA saw this aggressive water war weasel and said, give him a fedora, he can do a lot for you. Let's make otter agents. Which led to the Otter Dossier. Also, apparently whatever they were doing had something to do with Project MK Ultra. If you think they won. Anyway, here's some stuff you can find in the dossier. They found otters can open zippers and climb ladders. Seemed a little too excited about them being able to carry things and throw objects with their mouth. Otters can chew through a zinc sheet. I don't know how they found that. At one point they say they become devoted to humans, which can lead to their destruction. Whose destruction exactly? They made sure to mention that because they can dive up to 60 feet and can hold their breath longer than 5 minutes, they can enter and leave boats without being seen. There's also a do's and don'ts section, and at the very top of the list they say, never take food from an otter or suffer severe mauling. Somewhere the reason for that rule is sitting in a room with PTSD and missing fingers. There's also some cute stuff, like otters being ticklish and them using that to make them listen. There's also a blurb about taking care of babies, specifically their diarrhea. Once again, the cost of that knowledge was somebody's innocence. Anyway, it's pretty interesting. You should probably check it out on your own. But yeah, the CIA was definitely plotting something. And it involved weapons of utter destruction.
This man says this is undeniable proof he's a time traveler. Watch this.
I'm about to show you absolute proof of time travel. I'm about to predict everything that's about to happen because I've already lived this day. Let me show you something. This is gonna blow your freaking mind.
Okay.
Watch this. Let me show you. There's literally no way I could see anything that's coming through here. I'm gonna prove to you that I've already lived this day and I can predict everything. Check this out. Pause the video and check out the order of what I'm about to do.
White,
check this
red,
out. This is gonna
blue,
blow your
white.
mind. White car, red car, white car, blue small car, white car, black car, black car, black car. How do you deny this proof, guys? I mean, I'm literally black car. See that? I've already done this, guys. And this wasn't on the list, but a red car is coming too. Watch. Here's this red car.
Stay weird.
Some crazy history you definitely did not learn in school. This is a picture of Grand Central Station in 1929, and apparently it's not possible to take a picture like this anymore because the entire station is surrounded by buildings. And obviously that would block the sun rays. If TikTok existed in the 1920s, this would have been a trend called horse manning, where you basically pretend that you're headless by having another person in the photo. I guess it was a playful way for friends to be creative. Cool. let's not bring that back. OMG was first used in 1917. George Washington passed away with about $594 million in today's money of net worth. He was receiving a presidential salary of $25,000 or about $900,000 today. And apparently that was about 2% of the entire government's budget at the time. The old Danish criteria for common law marriage says that if you have a mistress that sleeps in your home for 3 winters and has a key, eats with you, sleeps with you, then you're married.
One thing I'll never understand is something as serious as this right here. Whenever it comes out and gets reported, it seems to be played down to a degree that it's not serious, but it really is. It's now being widely reported that the first human case of flesh-eating screwworm has been reported. You heard what I said. The first human case in the United States of flesh-eating screwworm has been reported. Take a look at this.
Did you know a flesh-eating parasite is making headlines in the U.S.? The U.S. has confirmed its first human case of New World screwworm, a parasite typically found in Central and South America.
How did it get
So
here?
an individual that traveled from Guatemala to the United States is currently in Maryland and is infected with screwworm. He is currently infested with screwworm. What does that mean for him? He could possibly lose his life if this is not treated the right way. This is very, very dangerous. This is typically transmitted by a fly. You heard what I said, a fly. What happens is it lands on an open wound and lays the eggs inside the open wound. And if left untreated, it takes just about 24 hours before they start feasting on you. So keep an eye on this, no matter what they tell you about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, I'd love to hear from you.
Why is this happening, man? All these ancient diseases, bro.
This girl is clearly running away from someone and is scared for her life. But then an employee at the hotel where that video was filmed shared the security footage, and it just makes this whole situation even scarier. Because as you watch the CCTV footage from the hallway, it appears that the girl isn't running away from anything that we can see. She quickly runs onto the elevator and then turns her back and hides her face, almost as if she's hiding from something or she just doesn't want to see what's coming. The elevator door remains open the entire time until she eventually runs out, and then it closes behind her. The only videos uploaded on this girl's TikTok account are the video of her running away that I showed at the beginning, and a video where she explains that a man was following her through the halls of the hotel as she pretended to be on FaceTime so that he would hopefully leave her alone. But according to the CCTV footage that we saw, we can all agree that nobody is seen following behind this girl as she runs away, right? Well, when the employee of the hotel reviews the footage a second time, they notice what looks like a shadow figure walking by. It's not a human, it's just the shadow of someone as they walk down the hall, but nobody is there. In the footage, we can also see 2 small tables up against the wall. The employee explains how on the tables, the bowls are filled with stones, and suddenly, as he's watching the tape, he witnesses a stone from the table being tossed onto the ground. I don't know if this place is haunted, but I need whoever works here to let me know where it's located so I can make sure I never book a room.
Here are some hidden secrets in movies that you may have missed. Part 2. In the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which is intended to be kid-friendly, there is a very dark joke that went over many people's heads. In the scene where food is seen destroying many parts of the world, you may recall the presidents on Mount Rushmore getting a pie to the face, except for one. That president was Abraham Lincoln, and there's a dark reason he got hit in the back of the head instead. When John Wilkes Booth assassinated President Lincoln, he shot him in the back of the head, which he initially survived, but later succumbed to his injuries. This movie recreated this event, even having pie ooze out of his face, creating a disturbing visual for those who know the reference.
Oh damn, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, Lil Nas X is cooked. But y'all, the video, his face, something going on, fool. He looked like he lost, like, did I really do this? I'm telling y'all, something was going on with Buddy. He was possessed to some shit, and I know why. because he chose to be on the other side. Y'all see what happened when you go against God, right? Prime example. He has on Fruit of the Looms. His favorite candy is Fruities. He didn't mock God so many times, y'all. But y'all, look at this video and y'all tell me I'm not tripping. Like, he just looked like, damn, I don't know what the hell was going on. Look at this man's face, y'all. He just looked like he dumbfounded, like he just lost for words. Like he really don't know what happened that night. Am I tripping? Look at him.
I don't
He
think
don't even
so.
look like the same person. Go back and watch that video when he was outside. They don't look like him, fool. They look like two different people. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. And I'm damn sure not flying. This man is now facing 4 counts. If he ever wanted to get out that system, he could go ahead and kiss that shit goodbye. They got that over his head. He's cooked.
Even Mr. Beast is now getting involved in the Raja Jackson situation. He just tweeted saying, if anyone connected to Stuart Smith knows of a way that I can help him, please reach out. If his kid is a fan or I can help with hospital bills, I don't know, but I'll help. We also got the first pictures of Stuart in hospital, which was posted by his brother, who says that he's in stable but critical care. He also said they do not currently have a GoFundMe set up because others have already started setting up fundraisers to pay for his hospital bills. Like this one, for example, which already has received their target of $60,000. As of recording, Raja has not been arrested. However, LAPD officers have filed a report and detectives have been assigned to the case. But what's interesting is that the LAPD say that they were called to the location for an attempted murder, but they later classified the incident as felony battery. Now in California, where this took place, the common sentencing range for felony battery is 2 to 4 years in state prison, a fine of up to $10,000, or probation with up to a year in county jail. Douglas Mallow, the wrestler who pulled Raja off of Steve, has since said that he places heavy blame on AJ Mana. That's the wrestler who invited Raja to the event and was also heard saying to him,
You fucking give him his receipt. Remember what a receipt is. Give him that fucking receipt, bro.
Douglas claimed that AJ Mana also had a problem with Stewart and that he used Raja to do his dirty work, and as a result, he ruined 2 people's lives. AJ Mana responded to these claims in a now deleted Instagram story, saying he was in character and speaking the language of wrestling when he told Raja to get his receipts, which many interpreted as encouraging or giving permission to Raja to hit Stewart for real. AJ Mana claimed that this was just a situation that got out of hand due to miscommunication. But what do you guys think? Is there any scenario where the full responsibility is not placed on Raja? Or is Raja's future cooked?
What would make...
I'm about to say, so what does receipt mean in wrestling terms? I haven't watched wrestling in a while, so I don't know if that means, like, hit him with a real one? That situation, when I saw that video, that was just insane.
You build a 10-foot, 6-inch animatronic, an indestructible robot. This robot can run faster than us. This robot is bulletproof. And again, this robot is 10 feet, 6 inches. Oh, you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit. Listen to what he said.
Just to protect Nosy, make sure Nosy lasts.
That's the legs.
Forever. Permanent.
I'm not even that tall.
Still be satisfying for me to know.
Why are you building it?
Listen.
Even if Nosy is, on its own for a couple weeks.
On its own?
Or whatever. Just doing its own thing. It won't be damaged by the rain.
Listen.
Or anything. Fire, bullets, nothing.
Indestructible?
It won't be damaged by the rain, bullets, fire, nothing. What? And this is supposed to be the finished product. So you telling me this thing can run 32 miles an hour. This thing also has silent footsteps, 10 feet, 6 inches, 32 miles an hour, silent footsteps. That's an alien. And this thing right here can crouch like that. This thing right here can come to your window and look in your window. And I ask again, why is this man making this thing? Who does this man have a problem with? Because this shit right here, if it's built the right way, the United States Army might not be able to do anything to this animatronic. This is the Terminator 2025 right here. Mind you, he's building this thing, and he plans on taking this thing from state to state. Don't come to my state, man. For real.
I have a story.
You want no smoke.
Okay. This, I guess this came out pretty recent. Don't know the credibility of it. Seems legit, but we'll just go with that. The Malaysian airline that disappeared, remember that? They were never able to find it.
Okay.
Supposedly, 2 satellites, a Chinese satellite and a US satellite, caught video of the plane, and there was these blob things flying like sporadically around the plane, like encircling it. It's like 3 like orbs. It's just like whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I've seen
And
that.
then it disappeared.
Like in a pattern. Just
Yeah, it was just like they were doing something and like we're flying around.
Flying into another dimension, probably.
Don't know. But then the Malaysian authorities said when it disappeared, the last thing they got on the radar was an unidentified blob around the plane.
So
There was an
creepy.
unidentified blob around this plane.
Yeah.
It also came out that plane was carrying secret cargo, and that all it says is that it weighed as much as a hippo.
Was it a hippo? No, it's a hippo. Why would they say
I don't know. Like, just say like it probably weighed.
Just say 2 tons or something.
Yeah.
Like, don't say, I don't know, probably the weight of a hippo.
We might just be cooked because
Crazy.
now we have underwater ocean currents, the ones that control the climate change. Yeah, they're reversing. This is probably the source of the reason why we seeing these crazy storms happen everywhere. So the flood that just happened in New Mexico, the one that happened in Dallas, North Carolina, Central Texas, and some other places, it's starting to see crazy climate effects. We've got polar bears that's off the coast of California that most likely drifted down there off an iceberg that melted from Antarctica. Remember watching 2012 and the whole entire reason that all of this stuff happened was because of the ocean currents had changed. And we also seeing the shortest days in history because the earth is now spinning faster. Also, simultaneously, the Earth's inner core just decided that it want to rotate backward. Y'all get y'all life right now, bro. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen next, and it's getting crazy. Y'all let me know in the comments on what y'all think about these underwater currents deciding to reverse in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom. Stay tuned. If you want to learn how to monetize your social media and get paid to make content like this, comment down below Hub and I'm sending resources in your DM. It's getting crazy!
It's getting scary, bro.
Yeah.
If you play Stairway to Heaven backwards, you hear messages talking about Satan, the devil. Yeah.
Oh,
clear though?
Oh, it's
Calling you to join him. The Lord turned me off.
Oh my
Isn't that crazy?
God.
It's so clear though.
Wait.
It's so clear.
I hear a lot of that.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. If you listen to the song Stairway to Heaven, the purpose of the song too kind of lines up both forward
With the message.
and backwards.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the message in Stairway to Heaven is there's a woman and she's trying to buy her way to heaven. And there's 2 ways that you can go down that path.
It shows both sides.
Both sides.
Funniest kids test
Scary.
answers. This question said what ended in 1896, and the kid responded 1895. I mean, he's not wrong. Bob has 36 candy bars. He eats 29, and what does he have now? Diabetes. Bob has diabetes. Bro, no way the kid answered that. This kid was asked to name each shape, but I have a feeling the teacher did not mean that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Problem. You fell on the playground and scratched your knee. Solution. Get up and deal with it. Bro, this kid's a savage, man. This kid was asked to draw a line to the correct answer, so he did this. Bro, this kid's going places. That's smart. The funniest kid test answers. This kid was asked what he wanted to be when he grew up. And he drew a picture of his mom, but wait. It's not what you think it is. She actually works at Home Depot, and that's a shovel. Get your head out of the gutter. Pause. Tony practices the piano 20 minutes every day. A fact, he is a big nerd.
No, man.
No, wait. Bob has 36 candy bars. He eats 29. What does he have now? Diabetes. Bob has diabetes. Bro, where do these kids come up with these things, man? This kid was asked to write an example of a risk. And the kid wrote this and handed it in. No way he did that. This kid was asked to write 3 things you want to do in the future. And he wrote, number 1, get a girlfriend. Number 2, kiss her. And number 3, rule the world. If this ain't my kid, I don't want him because that's good.
video had popped up, and it was a
Kids
random conspiracy
insane,
theory. And this
bro.
dude was saying his random conspiracy theory, and he was basically saying, what if all the natural disasters was actually a higher frequency being trying to contact us, making contact with us? People, what he's saying, because he brought up the Super Bowl commercial where they was talking about the aliens texting everybody and saying hello down there. So you know how you can feel wind on your body, but you can't see it? Same thing with some of the natural disasters. You are only going to be able to see and understand what you make yourself aware to. So if a natural disaster is happening, all you're going to see is a natural disaster. If thunder and lightning is happening in the clouds, all you're going to see is thunder and lightning, because that's what you've made yourself available to perceive. Okay, let's break it down. You know how when you are around a group of people and a group of friends and you're good and you're nice and everything's good at the beginning, but then you start to notice your awareness starts to become more aware of the lies and the bad energy that you are around being around these people. Your mind is only trained to perceive what you allow it to perceive. So you on a certain level are in your own awareness of what's going on around you. But there's so many more layers and levels to existing. So when you see powerful wind just blowing around, oh, it's powerful energy that's going on that you cannot see. It's probably high frequency beings that are really doing some stuff that your awareness is not trained to see. This is why people can't comprehend the fourth dimension. This is why some people may say that we are living on a giant celestial. The earth is alive. People talk about nature spirits, ancestors, ninth dimensional beings, higher levels of expanded awareness. So what you're seeing in your level of awareness may be different from what's actually going on. That's just the after effect. That's just the ripples of what's going through your dimension. But something else is happening on higher levels.
Did you all see this? What is going on in Baltimore? A cargo ship caught fire and exploded near the Francis Scott Key Bridge. The very same bridge that had that ship that crashed into the bridge back in 2024. So what exactly is going on, and what is up with weird things happening around this bridge? There were no injuries reported with this incident that happened, but again, remember what happened in 2024 when this ship crashed into the bridge. So there is something definitely bizarre happening when it comes to Baltimore, when it comes to this bridge. I mean, you all tell me, because is this all just one big coincidence? First you had this with this ship crashing into the Francis Scott Key Bridge in 2024, and now you have a cargo ship that caught fire near the bridge. Maybe it's just a big coincidence. Maybe that's what it is, because I get it. Ships do catch on fire sometimes and stuff like that. I get it. But honestly, you just have to question everything. Again, thankfully, there were no injuries from this cargo ship catching fire, but still, that's just wild stuff to see. What do you...
So in Alabama, we saw a person in the sky. In Michigan, we saw a pyramid. What is this in China? Okay, y'all, so they told us that the beings, the alien, the extraterrestrials were coming in a few weeks, and they might be early, y'all. In China, it's its first stop, because what is this in the skies of China, y'all? Look at this, and then y'all see this? Hold on. What is this? I saw this thing look like it was running on the clouds. Look at that, y'all. Look. What is this?
A bird?
It's running on the clouds, right? Look at this. What is that, y'all? And then it looks like it jumps out and flies. What? And then it pulls back. What is that? But this, y'all, what is going on? Do y'all see this? Hold on. So as I was playing with the video, zooming in and out, I also saw this entity on this thing. What, first of all, what is this, y'all? This thing is glowing up in the sky like a chariot. Is that a mothership? Is that it looks like some type of golden mothership, right? They've been talking about the golden age. I don't know if it's the light that's obfuscating off of it, but it looks like some type of golden mothership. So yes, can somebody tell us what is going on in China? And y'all see the clouds, right? It's literally in the clouds. Y'all see that? Look how dense these clouds are. But the light is reflecting perfectly off of this. And then what is this? What is this thing running on the clouds?
That's a bird.
The shit is here, y'all. Let me know down in the comments below, y'all. Let's continue to get it. What do you think this is, y'all? Like, follow, share for more videos like this. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
Couldn't be a cloud. I don't know what was reflecting that high up. They said this is the toxic. What the hell? Did they just put those fruits in there to make it look like that? What they cutting off those bananas? They eating fake synthetic food out here, bro. You gotta be aware. The hell? They put a flower in there? They did. What the heck? Okay, that's watermelons. What is that like white liquid that they putting in it, bro? Is he standing? Is that bread? They just standing on it. No, those potatoes. They're making fries or something? There's something suspicious about that water, man. They vaping in grapes now? Yeah, I don't trust it, bro. What was that liquid, man?
If you're home alone right now, skip this video. An 8-year-old girl bravely fought off a terrifying intruder who entered her home in the middle of the night wearing a clown mask. On the 15th of October, a scene unfolded in a small town like that from a horror film. At around 1:30 a.m., a man broke into a child's bedroom in Colorado. Police described the incident as an attempted child abduction, with the man entering the room in a dark hoodie and a cloth clown mask. Terrifyingly, the little girl was blindfolded and snatched off her bed as the man tried to take her from her bedroom. She was subject to quite a brutal attack by the intruder and bravely fought him off until he hit her over the head and knocked her out. Fortunately, it seems that he was spooked in the process of this and fled the scene. Now, it apparently took police over an hour to get to the incident at the property, but they did manage to gather vital evidence and then track the intruder down. They revealed his identity as 56-year-old Thomas Gallegos. They were able to arrest him and charge him with multiple serious offences such as burglary, assault, kidnapping and child abuse. The little girl did sustain cuts and bruises and was obviously traumatised by the attack, but fortunately did live to tell the tale.
This is how rare your body actually is. Starting off, only 5% of people have tied tongues, so if you have this, you're pretty rare. Basically, this is where your tongue is tied to the bottom of your mouth, impacting your speech and eating. Next up is Morton's toe, and if you have this, you're probably pretty rare. Only 10% of the population has this, and this is where your index toe is bigger than your big toe. Okay, this next one is crazy. 1% of people actually have unbreakable bones. This is a genetic mutation which causes people's bones to be more dense than the average human. And one person who had this condition actually walked away from a car crash unharmed. Next, about 50% of people can fit their hand in their mouth. Sounds a bit high, so if you actually can, let me know. If you can tickle yourself, you're in the rare 7% of the population that can do this. About 10% of people suffer from eczema, which is a skin rash and is so annoying. And finally, we have the 16% of people that can make a roaring noise in their head by clenching their jaw.
If any of your secrets, man, can you guys do any of those unique things, man? I think I have the tied tongue, but I can't fit my whole fist in my mouth. I know I can't do that. I don't even need to try to do that, bro. And the unbreakable bones. I saw actually somebody comment down, a fellow seeker said how like the unbreakable bone story was kind of not true. So, like I said, to each their own. Everybody got to do their own research, but that's crazy.
Crazy part is, most people believe that these three things will actually save your life. They don't. Let's pretend you're lost in the desert and you need water, and you don't have any. So where are some places you can get water? One commonly held terrible piece of advice is to drink your own pee, because it's mostly made up of water, except there's 5% of that that's all made up of just waste from your body, and even though the urine might keep you alive a little bit longer, you'll ultimately die of kidney failure. So you don't drink your own pee. Instead, you head over to some cactus you see nearby because you remember reading or hearing in school that you can drink the water inside of cactus. Except, unless it's one really specific kind of cactus, you'll be drinking lots of alkaloids and chemicals that will make you viciously ill, and you'll start vomiting and you'll have diarrhea and you'll die from dehydration much faster. So as you're sitting there wondering what you're going to do next, a venomous snake bites you. And so you instinctively start sucking on the bite to remove the poison, but you can't because it goes right in your bloodstream, and all you'll do is die much faster from infection.
Man, those 3 things, he just proved us wrong.
This picture from inside the basement of Fun Zone, and I'm going to get into some of the backstory about what it is that we're actually looking at here. But what I can tell you is that when I did see it, my heart sunk. For some backstory, if you don't know what Fun Zone is, this is kind of a relic of the late 90s, early 2000s. It had lots of iterations over the years, but it was effectively like an indoor amusement park or arcade. It used to be like a really fun place to be. It had a handful of carnival rides, indoor roller coasters, all the works. So Fun Zone eventually did close down, and they boarded up the doors. I guess the problem was that didn't stop people from breaking in. One of the curious things about this location was that they didn't sell off any of the equipment that was inside. It just kind of remained in place. Eventually, upon one of the break-ins where somebody went in, they made their way to the basement where they found an abandoned cell phone, and that is where we get this picture. Nobody really knows who took the photo or what really happened to them, but if you look a bit closer to the background, you will see the same thing that I do. You can see it if I make the photo brighter. Whoever was exploring Fun Zone, they came face to face with a person in that basement. Don't forget, if scary stories like this are of interest to you, make sure to go check them out right on the podcast.
We're always told to drink a lot of water throughout the day, but have you ever wondered what happens when you drink too much water? Well, 35-year-old Ashley Summers drank 64 ounces of water in a span of 20 minutes and passed away from water toxicity. Ashley, her husband, and 2 daughters were at Lake Freeman in Indiana when she began feeling dehydrated. So she drank 4 bottles of water because for some reason she wasn't able to quench her thirst. Ashley complained about having a horrible headache and she began to feel lightheaded. When she got home with her family, she passed out in the garage and she was taken to the hospital where the doctor said she had brain swelling. Ashley never woke up and she was pronounced dead from water toxicity. A toxicologist said that this is more likely to happen to someone who's extremely dehydrated, which will cause them to drink too much water and not enough sodium or electrolytes. So remember, bring more than just water on really hot days, especially if you're under the sun for a long period of time.
Here's why you might not want to visit your mom on her birthday. A man was stuck in traffic while driving home after visiting his mother for her birthday. The man was so frustrated that when the GPS told him to take a detour, he went right away, which might have been a mistake. His gas light then came on, so he decided to pull into this super bear in town to fill up his tank. So the man went in, pumped his gas, and when he went to pay, the clerk was super weird. He didn't acknowledge him and just gave him a creepy smile. The man then went outside and saw a woman just standing in the middle of the road and said, "Are you okay?" And the woman looked at him and said, "Ah, yes, we are happy here." The man was like, "What?" and just drove out of there. Till a cop pulled him over and said, "Sir, you can't drive. Driving's illegal here." The man had had enough and literally just went pedal to the metal and zoomed out of there. When he got home, he was just so confused. The people looked real but didn't act human. He tried to research it but decided, next year I'm just sending my mom a card.
Yeah, the Fast and Furious out of there, bro. I did the same thing too. People are acting weird, very weird.
Weird Nature Facts, Part 37. In proportion to body weight, koalas have one of the smallest brains of any mammal. They're so dumb that when presented with leaves on a flat surface instead of on branches, they are unable to recognize them as food and will not eat them. Dogs get sprayed by skunks so often because skunks raise their tails as a warning. Dogs see this as "come smell my butt," which is the exact opposite message of what the skunk is trying to send. In Germany, it is illegal to kill any vertebrate animal without proper reason. Because of this, all German animal shelters are no-kill. In the 1980s, Ken the orangutan escaped from his enclosure at the San Diego Zoo multiple times. His apparent goals were visiting other animals, taking photos with tourists, and throwing rocks at his orangutan rival.
Wow,
Here are some disturbing facts about Disney. Many scenes in Toy Story are inspired by the horror movie The Shining. The voice actor that did Lilo in Lilo and Stitch also played the ghost girl in The Ring. The Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disneyland feature real human skeletons. Also at Disneyland, there are vents that pump out artificial smells to keep you happy. After the release of Princess and the Frog, over 50 kids went to hospital for salmonella. They tried to kiss a frog. Do you know any other creepy things about Disney? Leave a comment.
Here's some.
I think the thing that got to me the most is that he pumping out like a smoke out of a vent to keep you happy at Disney. What the heck? What they got going on with Disney, bro? And the more you know, I heard some creepy facts about Disney, but that's definitely a new one I heard today, Seekers.
The
Creepiest videos on the internet, part 10. The popular American rapper XXXTentacion was murdered on June 18th, 2018, and his death broke the hearts of many.
R.I.P.
Many people visited his memorial to leave gifts, but some people captured much more. The YouTube channel, The Fam, recorded a video trying to communicate with this beloved rapper, but accidentally captured this. But someone else got a lot more than this. The YouTube channel Selva the Explorer got to speak with him through her spirit box. Here's some things he had to say.
What is your favorite song you've ever recorded? What's the name of your favorite song? Are you in the Wi-Fi? Is there anything else you want to tell us?
Is this legit? They were speaking to his ghost?
Yeah, I don't know if this is the most disturbing, but this is definitely top 5. This is Malgas Island, and up to 60,000 of these birds called Cape Gannets will nest here. But don't worry, I'm gonna get to it. So normally these parents take turns, with one going out for food with the other staying behind to guard the chick. But because of overfishing, oftentimes both parents will go out for food, leaving the chick all alone on the island. Which wouldn't be a problem if they didn't know that. Because groups of these white pelicans will fly over to the islands and then walk around looking for any unsupervised gannet chicks, so that they can grab the baby birds and eat them alive while they're still struggling. And sometimes they'll just push the parents out the way and then swallow the newborn children right in front of them. It somehow gets worse. Those same pelicans will fly back to their nest and vomit the half-digested, recently murdered baby birds for the pelican chicks to eat. And because Cape Gannets have no real way to defend themselves, pelicans have no reason to stop. And since pelicans obviously don't have teeth, those chicks' last moments were spent suffocating while being digested alive by stomach acid, only to get regurgitated and eaten twice. Dinosaurs never went extinct. They just rebranded with feathers.
Black Air Force energy. Confirmed. They need some menaces, bro.
This is proof that we aren't alone. Okay, so in Wyoming, there's a strange mountain in the middle of nowhere with ridges on it, and no one seems to know why. Now, most people say that this is because of erosion. However, there's a theory behind this mountain that will absolutely shock you.
Talk about
And
it.
as the theory says, the real reason as to why this mountain has ridges is not because of erosion, but because of a giant bear. The said bear is said to be named Mato and is about 60 feet tall, weighing over 10 tons. And this story even goes as far back as the Stone Age, with drawings of a gigantic bear attacking tribes on wall caves. However, this creature has not been seen since.
So this video went viral sometime last year when this woman and her kids, along with her friend and her friend's kids, went out to eat after a doctor's appointment. While they sat at this restaurant, this random man came out of nowhere and tried to grab one of their daughters and pull her out of the restaurant. The two mothers had a total of 6 kids with them, and they were all seated on this table, but in front of them were 2 other young kids who happened to be Snapchatting while this whole thing went down, and they caught this crazy moment. When the mother realized that this man had grabbed her daughter, she stood up right away and said, "Oh hell no." And then he said, "I'm just playing," and he let go of the little girl. There is no way this man is just playing around. He intended to take that little girl, and he probably thought it was going to be easy because there's just 2 moms with 6 kids at this table.
Humanoid robots.
Yeah, nah, he was definitely on some weird crap, bro. Gonna say, try to play it off as a joke, man. These people are getting bold now, bro. Like, right in front of the parents, they just don't care no more. Did the right thing stand up? Nah, we had to run that for you, bro. No. Somebody had to drag me off that guy, man. And for, like, in front of the parents? How stupid could you be?
Are getting creepier by the day. A startup from Poland called Clone Robotics is on a mission to create some of the most human-like robots ever, even going as far as to use a musculoskeletal body using hydraulic tendon muscles covered in this stretchy skin-like fabric. And it's not just for show, because they claim that it is the strongest biomimetic hand in the world. Oh, and just like in the movies, their artificial muscles bleed if punctured. So yeah, things are getting serious now.
Dark
Terminator next step.
No? Part 4. Today, let's talk about the mysterious disappearance of Rebecca Corium. Rebecca Corium was a 24-year-old worker on the Disney Wonder cruise ship. On March 22nd, 2011, while working on the cruise ship, Rebecca disappeared without a trace. This is one of the last photos taken of her, and it was from CCTV footage. At 5:45 a.m. that morning, footage revealed Rebecca talking on the phone with someone. She seemed visibly distressed. Now here's where it gets twisted. Many people believe that Disney knows exactly what happened to Rebecca, but are trying to cover up this whole thing. Let me explain. For starters, the captain of the ship said that Rebecca was just washed over by a big wave. They then gave Rebecca's parents a sandal and said that this was hers and it was retrieved from the deck that she was last seen on. Number 1, the sandal wasn't her size. Number 2, it wasn't her style. It was also revealed that Disney had edited this CCTV footage. Check out part 2 on this case for more information.
They're just trying to save some money, man. That's not the first time a big company would do something like that. It's sad.
Did you know that they may have just exposed Satan's city? What's even more crazy is there's people living there right now and it's not hell. Whilst addressing a church in Revelation chapter 2 verse 13, Jesus exposes the city of Satan. Watch this. Jesus says, I know where you live, a place where Satan sits enthroned. And he says that same place is where his faithful witness Antipas died. Saint Antipas was martyred by being burnt in a bronze bull in Geneva, Switzerland. Like, this literally happened under the rule and reign of Nero. And you're never gonna guess what's happening in Geneva, Switzerland right now. It's home to an organization called CERN, whose, logo just happens to be 666. And their goal in life is to develop a machine that can actually tear a hole between the natural and supernatural realm. And they just made a discovery of something called the God particle, but that's a video for another time. Subscribe now if you love Jesus.
What do we think about CERN, man? That's their headquarters,
This is the disturbing truth about Christmas. This is Black Peter, and he spends the whole year spying on kids, taking note on who has been good and who has been bad. Every single Christmas, Black Peter goes with Santa from house to house, and while Santa gives presents to the good kids, Black Peter punishes the bad ones, and this is what he does to them. At first, he will leave you a bag of twigs and a pile of coal. But if you have been really bad, Black Peter will snatch you from your bed and throw you into a sack. He will then kidnap you and take you to his coal mine, where he will chain you up and make you his slave. You will then work for him for the rest of your life, and if Black Peter ever gets sick of you, he will just simply eat you. So if this doesn't motivate you to make the nice list, then I don't know what will.
Stay away from Black Peter, bro.
The Silent Man. In 2014, a 51-year-old man in the UK named David Hampson decided to stand in the middle of a busy road and block the traffic. The incident was then reported and police officers arrived at the scene to see what was going on. But when they tried to talk to David to get him to move, he wouldn't say a word and just stood there, so they arrested him. From his arrest to when he was brought to court, David still remained completely silent and wouldn't even talk to his lawyer. Although since no one knew his motives and he hadn't actually hurt anyone, David was let go soon afterwards. But all he did was just go back to that same street and stand there, silent, once again. And he committed this same crime over and over again for the next 7 years, never saying a word to anyone. Even though he was jailed multiple times, every time he was released, he would just go back to that same street and do the exact same thing. All the doctors who are trying to help David failed because he refused to speak to them. And it was reported that the only time anyone had ever heard him speak was when he was giving food and water, and he said thanks. Finally, in 2020, David was given 3.5 years in prison for his actions, and is still yet to speak to anyone on why he did it. Fourth one.
If you believe in God,
crazy.
stay away from Halloween. Muslims, Christians, or anyone who believes in God, Halloween is a pagan festival. It involves evil spirits, jinns, and shaitan. It is forbidden for Muslims, and real Christians will know the truth. Please do not associate with it and stay away. Share this everywhere, spread awareness.
Alright guys, let's
That's
talk
true,
about
I remember
Krampus.
that.
Krampus comes from old German folklore. He's the opposite of Santa Claus, and he punishes misbehaving children on Christmas. You might be asking, what does he do to punish these misbehaving children? He stuffs them in his bag and takes them back to his lair. He either eats them or tortures them. He also has a whole gang of minions that help him do this. Krampus is celebrated around many parts of Europe, and there have been a lot of petitions to ban him. This is because people are scared of the legend and they don't want to keep doing it. But every single year during Christmas time, there are always reports of Krampus sightings all over the place. Let me know what you guys think about Krampus in the comment section below.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, Part 3. The first firefighter killed in 9/11 attacks was struck dead by a falling body in the courtyard. One of them was killed on his way in, and the other was killed on his way out. Right now, there are tiny little bugs on your face munching on your dead skin. Your bones are wet. If you don't have kids, you will break an unbroken line of children that has gone on for tens of millions of years. A scientist studying death asked a man who was about to be executed by a guillotine if he would blink after his head was chopped off. He ended up blinking for 30 seconds. Most laugh tracks for TV shows were recorded in the early 1950s, meaning that you hear dead people laugh. If you're attacked by a bear, it won't try to kill you like other predators. Instead, it'll just start eating you. One day, someone will mention you for the last time, then they'll never ever mention you again.
Crazy to think about, man.
Here are the creepiest Christmas urban legends, Part 1. Ever heard of the Yule Cat? This is an extremely creepy cat that's said to originate from Iceland. According to stories, the Yule Cat enjoys snacking on people during the holiday season. And what makes the Yule Cat even weirder is that it specifically targets people who haven't received any new clothing before Christmas Eve. Iceland is also home to Gryla. According to Iceland lore, Gryla is a giant ogress who leaves her cave in the mountains to feed on children during Christmas. To make the story even creepier, Gryla keeps the Yule Cat as a pet. What the hell is going on in Iceland? Then we have Belschnickel, and this one comes from Germany. According to people of the Rhine, Belschnickel is an old bearded man who visits children during the holidays with Santa Claus. If you were good that year, he'd give you cakes and candy. If you were bad, well, Belschnickel would pull out a switch and whip the children until they behaved. This is probably why Dwight from The Office loved him so much. There's also Krampus. This is one you've probably heard about from movies and books. In the Alpines, Krampus is a horned demonic figure who visits the homes of naughty children on December 5th and punishes them. In some versions of the story, he hits them with birch rods. In others, he straight up takes them back down to hell with him. The Germans definitely know how to scar kids for life.
Scary things hidden in Disney movies. In Mona, Olaf and Frozen appears in Mona's basket. Dory, Rex from Toy Story All Alone among the junk.
Whoa,
Here's
I never
the
noticed
truth
that.
behind Dora the Explorer. You may think it's just some ordinary cartoon, but there's actually a big secret behind it. Dora the Explorer is actually blind, and here's proof. If you watch the show, you'll notice Dora never actually looks at what she's talking about. She always looks in another direction and doesn't even blink. This also explains why her parents make her take Boots everywhere, because Boots is actually a secret service animal. Even in this scene right here, Boots is counting the coins and she's not looking anywhere near that. And this explains why she always asks obvious questions to the audience. The 16-year-old.
Whoa, what the heck? Hey, that's a new theory, man, that she just put in my head. Was Dora the Explorer always blind? What do you guys think, man? They was lining up perfectly.
Girl threw her newborn out of her window. Viewers' discretion is strongly advised. On September 30th of 2016, a 16-year-old Antonia Lopez had gave birth to a baby girl. Right after giving birth, she took a photo of the baby and sent that photo to her baby's father on Snapchat. Antonia had captioned the photo saying it was a girl, by the way. Right after that is when she made the decision to throw the baby out of her second-story window. Shortly after that, she then decides to post on her Facebook around 3:40 a.m. to see if someone can help her out. Someone ends up replying to her Facebook post, and she is asking help to get rid of a deceased baby, needs some trash bags, and a car. Antonia ends up telling her mom what happened, and her mom immediately calls 911 and rushes down to that baby to perform CPR. Antonia was taken into custody, and she could face up to 20 years in prison if she was charged as an adult. The judge ends up charging Antonia as a juvenile so she can avoid prison time. Instead, she was sentenced to live in a group home, complete 50 hours of community service, attend therapy sessions, and delete her Facebook account. The only reason they made her delete her Facebook account was because of the angry comments she was receiving.
Here's what famous cartoon characters would look like in real life, and the last one will freak you out. This is what Homer Simpson would look like as a real person. And this is a 3D rendering of Mario. Buzz Lightyear doesn't actually look too different in real life. And Bart Simpson seems to have a missing chin when he turns real. Stewie Griffin from Family Guy doesn't look too different. But SpongeBob SquarePants might
freak you out.
Yeah, he did. SpongeBob can't be real. that face.
Maps that will change the way you see the world. These cities are all still owed money from the Trump campaign. There are now over 50 countries generating over 50% of their electricity from renewable energy. This shows the employment rates for 15 to 29-year-olds in Europe. The darkest blue areas are over 80% and the darkest red areas are under 30%. This is how much it costs to hold a prisoner in each state in the United States. In Arkansas, it only costs $23,000, but in Maine, it costs over $300,000. 33% of the entire country of Switzerland live within 5 kilometers of the main train line that goes through the country. This map shows how population is dispersed through France with the same amount of people living in the green as in the red. This map shows how many people by percentage in each country in Europe actually speak French. This map is highlighting every city that was founded by the French in the United States.
Wow, the more you know. That first map is crazy, bro.
These are scary cartoon truths that would terrify you, part 8. Okay, so the Teletubbies is a dark nightmare about genetically engineered slave creatures being systematically trained to become part of our society. The Teletubbies aren't in control of their own destiny, and 3 things control their day-to-day life. First is the voice, which is a tiny female voice that tells them when they could eat, sleep, say hello, or even say goodbye. The robotic voice comes from a speaker in the ground, hinting that something larger lies beneath. Next up is Nunu. He's a harmless vacuum cleaning robot who follows the Teletubbies and cleans up all the messes that they make, and also yelling at them for bad decisions. Nunu is just the watchdog of the Teletubbies. Finally is the pinwheel. Whenever the pinwheel starts to spin, the Teletubbies stop everything they're doing and run to the top of the hill to perform a ritual. People believe the Teletubbies is based on the end of the world.
Wow, we've heard some crazy theory about the Teletubbies, but that's definitely new one.
Saudi Arabia has just said that the groundwork for what would become the largest structure on Earth is now 86% complete. Now, not only would it be large enough to fit 20 Empire State Buildings inside, but similar to the Las Vegas Sphere, in its center will be this spiral-shaped tower encased by a VR dome that essentially could create anything your mind could imagine, whether that be on Mars, under the ocean, balcony views of Pandora, and even whatever the hell these things are. So the question is, do you think they'll be able to complete this by 2030 or not?
This evil
I
grandmother
don't think
makes
so.
her 20-month-old granddaughter in the oven. Viewer's discretion is strongly advised. 48-year-old Carolyn Jones lived with her brother and 20-month-old granddaughter Royalty in Shaw, Mississippi. She was described as a caring woman who loved her granddaughter. On October 15th of 2018, Carolyn's brother had found Royalty in a still warm oven when he had returned home from work. She had been burned so badly that she was unrecognizable. The police determined that Royalty had been stabbed multiple times and was still alive when she was placed in the oven. Royalty's cause of death was stab wounds and inhaling all that heated air. Carolyn was taken into custody on a charge of first-degree murder. The motive behind why she did this is still unclear to this day. A week before the incident, Royalty's toys and belongings had been left on the curb for trash. Royalty's car seat, high chair, ride-on horse, and diapers were among the items taken by people that were passing down their street. Neighbors were shocked to hear about what happened, and they stated that they rarely saw Carolyn or anyone else at that house, and they had no idea that a small child was even living there. In 2022, Carolyn was sentenced to life in prison for capital murder.
An 11-year-old boy came across this girl buried underneath the sand, and this is what happened. A young boy named Connor Fitzgerald was building sandcastles with a couple of his friends at the Marina Dunes beach in California. The boys soon moved to digging holes in the sand and challenged each other to see who could dig the deepest. As Connor was digging his hole, he suddenly hit something with his right hand. He dug deeper and realized that it was a bag. He dug around the bag, grabbed it, pulled it out, and was shocked when he realized that the bag was still attached to its owner. Connor then dug back more sand to find a little girl buried underneath. He called out for help, but there were no adults around, so he single-handedly pulled her out of the sand. The little girl was completely limp and wasn't breathing. Connor then thought back to an episode of NCIS where he saw a character perform CPR. As he started the procedure, a young couple walking down the beach started sprinting toward them.
Damn, we gotta find that part 2, bro. Imagine
episodes in kids' cartoons.
talk about
In
it.
an episode of Care Bears, the bears and their cousins find themselves in a place called Drab City, where color has vanished and people who live there don't seem to care about anything. This was caused by a mysterious force that took everyone's color and feelings away. And slowly, it started going after the bears, and they eventually gave in until help arrived. The whole episode was about mental health, and it came off as way too heavy for a kid's show. Next, in The Very Odd Parents, Timmy gets upset for not being appreciated for the good deeds he's done and wishes he was never born. He's then transported to an alternate universe where it shows that everyone's lives are better without him. And to add insult to injury, Timmy gets sent to what's basically the pits of hell. And when Timmy gets a hold of Jorgen's wand, he takes time to think if wishing himself to exist is worth making everyone's lives miserable. It's a pretty dark and messed up plot. And lastly, this Thomas and Friends episode starts as per usual, with Thomas giving a helping hand. Then, it's not long after that a character named Stepney ends up getting lost in a scrapyard, getting lost in a fog and almost getting scrapped in the process. This was meant to warn kids to be careful while on their journeys, or you may not live to tell your story.
Ghost stories from...
Hey, man, that's freaking crazy, bro. The messaging, man, in these kid shows, man, it's like when you think about it, when you're a kid, you're just so oblivious to it, but this real life messaging is in all pieces of media, man. You just gotta be able to see it. Because I sure wasn't picking up on that as a kid.
From around the world. This is hands down my most requested video. Mexico, La Llorona. Once there was a woman named Maria who married a rich man and had 2 children. But eventually her marriage hit a rough patch and her husband started spending less and less time with her and the kids. Until finally Maria caught him cheating. Absolutely enraged at this, she ends up drowning her 2 children. She immediately regrets it and tried to save them, but it was too late. Then she stopped eating and grew thinner and thinner until she resembled a skeleton. Eventually, she finally passed away by the same river that she drowned her children, still crying and mourning over them. So after she died, she went to heaven but was denied entry. She was banished to purgatory on earth until she could find her lost sons. And that's how she became La Llorona, which also translates to the weeping woman. She floats over bodies of water in a long white funeral gown. She also kidnaps children and attacks cheating husbands.
Damn. Okay. I'm probably gonna have to call edit on this one. Yeah. I'm gonna call it edit. What do you guys think?
The darkest conspiracy theories. The Teletubbies theory. The theory says that the show is inspired by historic events
Really?
that happened in a Bulgarian mental facility. Each Teletubby is inspired by a kid that was experimented on. Lola was based on a child who had facial disfigurement and had to smile all the time. And ended up lying in his own puke. And Poe was based on a child who fell into fire, which is recognizable why his color is red.
Here's some conspiracy theories
You
that
believe
I
that?
think have passed the level of theory and are true. Women's clothing is designed with little to no pockets for the sole purpose of selling more purses. High-end art is just a scheme to launder money and avoid taxes. Like this one here, sold for $43 million. This one sold for $46 million. This one was $84 million. Someone actually paid $87 million for this. This has got to contribute to inflation in some way.
Has
Things
to.
that happen in the entertainment industry, like with movies, TV shows, video games, are done on purpose to gauge interest and get opinions before an official announcement. That little bit of dust that comes off the end of tissues when you pull them out of the box is specifically designed to get you to sneeze, that way you need more tissues. Government orchestrates their own conspiracy theories to get us distracted from actual problems.
Hey man, she was hitting the head on the nail, bro. Especially like I said, how some of those theories, how they can be true. I'm about to say, you guys think, especially the last one, when she said how sometimes the government they be trying to put theories out there, trying to distract us from the bigger truth. That's why I tapped in with this, or tuned into this type of content, man, so I can learn, so I can expand my mind. I didn't want to be distracted no more. Where's this guy?
Some trees can actually grow inside of your lungs. In Russia, doctors performed surgery on a man named Artyom Sidorkin, suspecting that he had a cancerous tumor in his lungs. Instead of a tumor, though, they found a 5-centimeter fir tree branch inside of his lung.
What?
Doctors believe that Sidorkin accidentally swallowed a fir tree bud, which later grew into a branch. The probability of dying on your birthday is higher than any other day. There is actually a 14% chance of dying on your birthday than any other day. This is a shocking phenomenon called the birthday effect, which may be due to extra stress, drinking more, or people engaging in risky behaviors on their birthdays. A devil's chair exists in many cemeteries. In various cemeteries around the world, there are stone chairs called devil's chairs. These chairs were often used by mourners to sit and grieve, but legends and superstitions have given them a sinister reputation. Some stories claim that if you sit in one at midnight, the devil himself will appear. You are more likely to be bitten by someone in New York City than you are to be bitten by a shark. There could be someone secretly living in your wall or attic without you even knowing it. It's called frogging, and people say that it's becoming more and more common. So if you hear strange noises, notice things missing or moved, or your box of Frosted Flakes cereal is all of a sudden empty, there could be a frogger living in your home.
Here's what some of the most...
I didn't even know that was an actual term of froggers. That's actually one of my worst fears ever, man. That's like imagine somebody in your own space and you have no idea. Gotta pay attention, man. And that fir tree going inside that person, I would have said that's impossible, man, but we just saw it. And we know.
Most famous monsters actually are the chupacabra. The goat-griefing livestock leech believed to be first seen in Puerto Rico was more than likely a dog with a severe case of mange, and that's when mites burrow into the skin and basically cause parasitic alopecia. Bigfoot, different animals, same beast, or whatever it was Kobe said. Anyway, it was probably a mangy bear. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, Exhibit C. What the hell mange does? Coke Bear done graduated to meth? I don't mean numbers. The Loch Ness Monster. There have been many theories, but what's most likely was probably just an escaped circus elephant with trunks out like Dragon Ball. For centuries, there have been stories of killer Cyclops, a one-eyed op to humanity. Whole time, someone probably just found an expired elephant skull in an Olympic long jump to a conclusion. And last, almost every sea monster story you've ever heard was probably just some whale freeing his willy. That's exactly what you think it is, the more you know.
Here's how Area 51 became the center for alien conspiracy theories. In 1989, a man named Bob Lazar claimed that he had worked at a facility near Area 51 known as S4. According to Lazar, the facility was being used to reverse engineer alien technology recovered from crashed UFOs. Lazar's claims were highly controversial, and many people dismissed him as a hoaxer. However, his story only served to fuel the already existing rumors of alien activity at Area 51. Since then, countless conspiracy theories have emerged about what's really going on at Area 51. Some people believe that the government is hiding evidence of extraterrestrial life, while others think that the base is being used to develop top-secret weapons and technology.
What do you guys think?
That's what Mordecai said. Take that back, Rigby. They started fighting, and it didn't take long for them to bump into a microwave which took them up into space. And while in space, the argument still continued. You're over here turning on me, Mordecai, but I'm your bro. I'm just looking out for you. That's what Mordecai said. I don't care. I've been trying to get with Margaret for years, and yet every time she turns me down. And next thing you know, Mordecai pushes Rigby off, killing Rigby. That's when Mordecai says, wait, no! But the damage was already done, and Rigby's funeral went down the following week. Mordecai killed his best friend, and he disintegrated into the abyss, all because he was a simp.
He couldn't take that L, bro. It drove him insane. What the hell? I can't believe that freaking aired. That was on like Cartoon Network too. Might have to check. We're gonna have to review that episode, man. See if it's legit.
Who eat humans. Komodo dragon. Piranhas.
African driver ants eat humans?
Bear. Lion. Catfish.
Catfish eat humans now? What the hell?
Tiger. Cheetah. Hyenas. Shark. Dog.
Dogs too? What the hell?
Polar bear.
This is part 2 of the crime scene
That
photos
shocked me.
released from the Gypsy Rose Blanchard case, revolving around the murder of her mom, Dee Dee. This is another photo that was taken inside the house. You can see that the kitchen is absolutely trashed. This is inside their living room. Again, literally trash everywhere. This next one, please, if you're squeamish, look away. Okay, I cropped the photo, but basically her mom was found in this pink bed sheet. I'm covering a lot of, She was found laying on her stomach with stab wounds all over her body and a huge gash mark on her neck. Again, those photos are literally online where you see everything. I cropped this one again, but this is the crime scene bit. This half, it was just all blood and a wrapped body. I know a lot of you are really curious and you want to see these photos, but they are very dark and gruesome. Even photos of Dee Dee nude from the waist down. It was a very dark and gruesome murder.
Cursed games you should never play. Part 24.
Dark case.
Blue baby, baby blue. Begin at night. Go into a bathroom and turn off all the lights. Then lock the door behind you and face the mirror. As you're looking into the mirror, position your arms as though you're cradling a baby. While doing this, chant the phrase blue baby, baby blue 13 times. As you do this, you'll feel the weight in your arms begin to grow. And at some point, you'll start to feel scratching on your arms. Once you feel the scratching, immediately drop the baby in the toilet, flush it, unlock the door, and leave. If you're alive, you won. But there are 2 possible losing conditions. The lesser of 2 being the scratching in your arms becoming unbearable, or the second one being a woman appearing in the mirror. She will demand her baby back and probably kill you.
I never play those type of
These are
games.
scary cartoon
Never.
truths that would terrify you. Part 12. Okay, so Talking Angela started as a mobile phone app for a lot of children. Angela is a white cat with blue eyes who has conversations with you and could answer any question you ask. But recently, Talking Angela turned into an app to spy on young children. It is said the app was taken over by a creepy man or a very creepy group. It's said that if you're over 18, nothing happens. But if you're younger than that, the cat will then start asking you very weird questions. Like,
What?
where do you live? What is your name? And what are your parents' names? The creepy man or group are able to take pictures of you through your own phone. Also, if you zoom in on Angela's eye, you can see a man watching you. And if that's not scary enough, a young boy named Eli went missing shortly after downloading the app. And he was never found.
Hey man, that's how you gotta you have to know what type of apps you download, man. Especially when it comes to these kids' apps, because they just use as a cover for something else, man. Like a simple kids app, bro. You think talking to a cat, you wouldn't think nothing of it. It's like it's the perfect cover, seekers. We learning out here. Got it. Call it like I see it.
Every time I go to chase it, it runs. I don't think it's a good idea I chase it anymore. You might think I'm playing with him. Every time. I see him, but I'm not gonna act like I see him. I see him right there ducking. Oh, what the hell's wrong with his head?
I see that too.
Why does he look like that? I want to try to zoom. Oh my god, why does he look like that?
All of the Rugrats are a
Oh.
part of Angelica's imagination. They aren't real. None of them? Chucky died in the same accident that his mom died. And that's why his dad is always so nervous and freaking out, because he has to deal with it. What about Tommy? Well, Tommy was a stillborn.
And that's why Stu goes down into the basement late at night, making toys for the son he wish he had.
That's why he's always depressed.
What are you doing?
Making chocolate pudding.
It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Why on earth are you making chocolate pudding?
Because I've lost control of my life.
And the twins ended up being a miscarriage. It was early in the pregnancy, so Angelica didn't know if it was going to be a boy or a girl, so she just imagined both.
What about Susie?
Susie is real and going along with all of Angelica's crazy imaginations because it's her only friend. She tries to make her happy at times. But the one baby that is real is Dill. Dill goes against Angelica's crazy imagination and doesn't do what she expects. And that's why Angelica freaks out on Dill all the time and gets so upset.
Rugrats, man, they weren't real the whole time? Show that there to a couple of people, their minds gonna be blown. The hell? The hell?
The reason I had to move out of my flat.
Okay.
I was home alone.
The hell is that? It's staring at her, and the dogs can see it too. It's like the dog can sense it. If you know that ain't your mom, don't open it up. How the hell they unlock the door?
Then what's your name then?
Yeah, what the hell? She's right now opening up that door. That was a creepy one. For
this
sure.
teenager became concerned for her ex and tried to help him. Little did she know she was about to be brutally killed. Lauren Astley was 18 years old from Wayland, Massachusetts. She began dating Nathaniel Fujita when the pair were in high school together. Nathaniel was a popular football player. The pair were described as being quite on and off. On the 1st of April 2011, she decided to end the relationship with Nathaniel. However, it did not go down very well at all, and his friends reported that he became depressed and withdrawn. He stopped doing things he used to enjoy doing, and he just didn't seem to care about life anymore. In summer 2011, the pair attended the same graduation party. It was reported that at the party, Nathaniel got quite jealous of when Lauren was talking to other boys. Nathaniel got quite drunk, and Lauren's mum was actually at the party, and Lauren ran up to her crying. She said that Nathaniel wouldn't leave her alone and was harassing her. Now, Nathaniel got so angry at this party that he punched the tent that everybody was in and caused it to collapse.
Damn.
He was then asked to leave the party. It was reported that Nathaniel started drinking quite heavily and becoming even more depressed. His mum actually got so worried about him that she reached out to Lauren. She asked Lauren if she could help and maybe speak to him, and Lauren agreed because she was concerned. Lauren agreed to chat to him and meet him at his house on the 3rd of July 2011. Tragically, she had no idea she would not leave the house alive. She texted him stating here and entered the house at approximately 7:05 p.m. Nathaniel lured her into the garage, slit her throat and strangled her with a bungee cord. He then drove her car to Town Beach and disposed of the keys down a drain. After running home, he put her body in his car and dumped her in a secluded area nearby. Obviously, Lauren's family got really concerned when she didn't get home. Nathaniel, as obviously the last person she was meeting up with, was reported as a suspect. Police found bloodstains in his garage and a big bag full of clothes soaked in blood. Lauren's body was found not long after. Nathaniel's defense in court stated that he was suffering a massive depressive episode and therefore should not be held criminally responsible.
Really?
However, luckily he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison. People are calling this case the Incest House of Horrors. This case comes with just about the biggest trigger warning for the most horrific things you could hear. It was October 2023 in the quiet Polish village called Koniki. An arrest was about to happen which would shake the small community. The true horrors of what had been going on under everyone's noses were absolutely chilling. Piotr Girasik was 54 years old. He and his wife Hannah had had a staggering 12 children together. Hannah had passed away 15 years prior, leaving Piotr to look after the children on his own. Now, the house that he lived in was far from ideal for such a huge family. Locals were also often concerned about hearing cries and screaming from inside the home. They knew Piotr had a close relationship with his 20-year-old daughter, Paulina, but they had no idea just how disturbing things were getting inside the home. That was until local workers at a cake shop nearby tipped off social services. They had serious concerns about what was going on in the property, and they were right to be worried. When officers arrived at the home, they could smell something absolutely potent. Upon closer inspection of the property, they found decomposing, dead babies in the basement. 2 of the tiny bodies were wrapped in plastic bags, and one was just lying on the floor. Now, at the time of the discovery, Piotr wasn't actually living in this house with all 12 of his children. Some had escaped. He was living in the house with his daughter Paulina and his disabled son Damien. It would later be revealed that sometimes Damien was seen sat outside the house crying. He told officers that his dad would have S with his sister, so the dad's daughter, and regularly chase Damien out the house and beat him when he wanted to do this. Damien was abused and was given little more than cold rice to live off. Horrifically, police discovered that the deceased babies in the basement were actually the product of incest. The 3 babies found in the cellar were believed to have been killed just after they were born. Frustratingly, Piotr had actually been on the radar of police. He'd been investigated 5 times over allegations of incest. He was arrested finally by police, and his daughter Paulina was also arrested. Thankfully, many of Piotr's children had managed to flee, and his one daughter, Kasia, referred to him as a monster. He's now facing charges of murder, incest, and R.
This world can be a freaking truly dark place sometimes, man. Truly, bro. That was a dark and airy case, Seekers. If you guys made it with me to the end of the video, you're a true seeker seeking the truth. I really appreciate the support, man. Like I said, guys, I've been seeing the support in this past couple of videos. I just want us to say it doesn't go unnoticed. Thank you, guys, man. Make sure you guys follow me on my social media so we can always stay connected. Hit that thumbs up button, man. Like I said, even comment on the video, man. Like I said, every comment helps to push us into this algorithm. So even if you guys just want to say hi, put that down below, man. It won't hurt. You guys can catch you in the next video. I'm out. Peace, YouTube.